right.
We're live now. Okay.
Hey, everybody. My name's Eddie G. I'm from Beys Showcase. We have iFOMO here with us, one of our hosts, and of course, the man of the hour, son of a Merc. We're here on his platform. Thank you very much, brother, for having us on today.
Yeah, man. Always a pleasure. It's always fun. Um,
Definitely.
so I guess can we take a moment of silence for Rob? Should we? Yeah.
Yes. Definitely. Let's go ahead and take 1 minute.
Yeah.
Rob, this is out of respect for you, brother. Thank you for your contribution to the community.
It definitely it definitely I thought about it a lot more than I thought I would, I guess. Like most of the better part of the day. It's like, damn, dude, we lost one. Like I didn't
It
I watched
did, yeah.
I mainly watched his live streams, but like he was doing good. But so, tag. I'm a little disappointed,
Yeah.
So, what do you
to
guys
say the
think?
least.
Well, I want to start with Son of a Merc
Wait,
because
no.
he already
What?
Mm-mm.
has cards over
Mm-mm.
there.
Me first. First, I want to start with "I told you so."
So, well,
Okay,
oh,
let's start. Let's start there.
AMPM,
No,
what
that's
up?
it. We
Drew,
can
what
go
up?
with Merc, and then I'll give my spiel later.
Shugg is on a
But I
beach in
was
Japan right now.
anti-tag from the beginning. I was anti-tag.
Anti-tag. I'm still not anti-tag. I'm still open-minded about it, but like to give
Same.
like here's an example. Like if I go buy a tag slab at a card show and then I want a piece of pizza, so I put that card in my pocket and that bitch snaps when I sit down. Like I'm paying you to grade my card as well as protect it and keep it in that condition for as long as possible, right? So, but
Yeah.
with that said, I like the concept, I like the idea, I like the marketing. I don't know. I don't want to I sent like one lesser card to tag that I would might be willing to like try to snap. So we'll see how that goes. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I still see promotion for tag. I don't know. I'm in the tag Discord and there's no mention of it really. So I guess it's pretty
All right.
hive minded right now. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. It's a letdown for sure.
If there's no mention on it at all, do you think they're playing cleanup and removing whatever mention of it is there that's making them look bad? They're censoring people.
I don't know about censoring. I don't know. Do we have any
They
is
did mention something. They responded to this person or someone who mentioned it, and they said that it was just part of protocol,
yeah, it's
right?
a safety feature to
Okay.
Yes.
yeah.
Safety
In
feature.
case
Yeah.
somebody wants to crack the slab, it's supposed to break all the way, but
Right.
maybe
I don't really
like
understand how that
or
works.
is that why you're able to give me such a lower price point? Because but
Because they're
they say they use acrylic versus everyone else's plastic, but is that acrylic more brittle? I don't
I think
versus
so.
plastic? I don't know.
Different cost point for the materials they acquire, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I still like the slabs. I still like the look. I still like all of it, but it's a it's a disappointment for sure. But I like the competition that they gave PSA. I like that little.
Yeah.
I like what they had going. It feels like the momentum has slowed a little bit, but I guess
But check it
we'll
out.
see next couple weeks,
Check it
right?
out. Do you feel they only gave PSA a little run there because PSA got so backed up because it's getting so many submissions? Because it
Or
seems it was only worth it because it was a cheaper alternative and it was faster. It was literally like you can't grade your cards with PSA and wait. Grade them with anyone. Grade them here with us. We'll do it quickly. Like that's what it felt like to me.
well, it would. I mean, that's a good selling point if everyone else is backed up and then CGC had their whole debacle going on. But I don't.
So
Maybe
how does the fact that it breaks easily prevent it from getting just glued together? Like what?
I
Do
don't
you
know. Or
understand how
just
happy
buying a
I
new
am now that you
slab.
asked that?
Like I need to understand that to see like if what they're saying has any like merit to it.
I think
Because
Check it
I
out.
need to make my own decision because they were so vague in their response that I still don't know what the
they
hell to
pointed they
think.
pointed out splintering at the corners as well. Go ahead.
Check it out. So this is what I understood from that. Their slab is so brittle and it breaks, so you cannot crack open that case, take out the real card, put in a shittier card in there, and seal that case and sell it.
Yeah.
Who the fuck cracks a PSA case or slab or CGC slab and reuses the same fucking case that they just cracked? You really gotta like use tools to break that bitch open. I've never heard of someone cracking that case, bro. Be so careful so you can reseal it and no one will tell that you resealed the fucking plastic you broke to get that damn card out. I've heard of people cracking the shit out to get the cards, and then I've heard of people making fake slabs with a whole new case body
Yeah.
that they had, like a fake case body. But to fucking crack your case, take out your card, put in a different fucking card, and close that case to trick people,
Yeah.
I've never fucking heard.
I
So
think
for a company to say that's our security feature, so you don't do that, bruh. Really,
yeah.
bruh.
And
Bullshit.
the only person I can think of is PK, who does it purposely to try to do that, like as experiments. But like I don't know. Like usually people just buy another slab
I'm sorry for going off right now, but
or
I've been
use
holding
the
that one in for
label,
days.
right? Use the same label. But well,
Yeah,
tag doesn't have a label, so that's
you can't reuse their label. That's cool,
right.
but
Yeah,
check it
they
out.
don't have a label, so you can't reuse it.
Fake.
So their thought is someone would try to reuse the slab itself, right? I mean,
Yeah,
it kind of makes sense, but then I don't know, put some bend in it. I don't want to sit down with my card in my pocket and snap in half like after I just
Well, I mean,
bought that card.
realistically, are you hanging out like with your slabs in your pockets?
Right.
Who's doing this?
Yeah.
Nobody really is putting that much, is manhandling their cards like that. The problem I see with it is the end consumer is going to find whatever crappy excuse to either send that back or get a refund because they'll find a way to skew the system. So I'd rather have nothing to do with that unless they decide to reinforce their slabs.
Yeah. Change your
At
mind.
least
check
just a
it out.
little, because I cannot
But
have
he
that.
was. I'll have to wait till I get mine because he didn't really put a bunch of pressure
He
at
just.
all. Which I don't. At the same time, like I try to take the best care of my slabs, right? And
But
we
have
haven't
you
heard
ever had
anything
a
about
couple
it.
slabs in your backpack, or have you ever
Yeah.
had a couple slabs in a backpack at a
Yeah.
show?
I'll put them in like
They could break easily
a
right there.
switch bag.
If you have them in a backpack and you just happen to move your bag around, squish, crack. And like you said, like you buy this slab, you want the card to be protected. You don't want the card to just be displayed nicely in there. You want it to protect the card in the way, right?
Yeah.
What if you have your slab up on the shelf and you're like me with a cat? And this cat, this demon cat,
Yeah.
goes up on the shelf and knocks it over. Do I really want it to shatter? And every time that happens, I have to resubmit it, repay another damn fee just to have the same damn card with the same damn cert from the same damn company break again the next time my cat goes up there.
See,
You get me? Like
I want to do
PSA doesn't do that.
experiments
What
now.
happened with tag?
I want to do
Yeah.
That's the
experiments. I want to get.
You know who's gonna do an experiment, right?
I wish I got my. I wish I sent more so I could like. I don't want to.
Oh, this is perfect for you. With three of them, you'll get a good assessment of how their grading is
Yeah.
because you know the flaws on your cards, if there are any.
Well, there shouldn't be any.
Oh,
Hopefully not. I try to
that's
send it
another thing.
every time I send. I try to
Perfect.
send the truest of what I think is a 10, right? So
And then high standards, now you'll
yeah.
really see what they're up to. Their high
All right,
standards.
there's a video.
But
There's a video that
I'm
was
gonna take that Rayquaza and I'm gonna go because it's the Sea and Skybox Cosmos. It's
ooh,
only like $50. I mean,
It's a cool hollow, though.
yeah, I know it looks so good,
If it was a
but
10, I wouldn't mess with it.
yeah.
well,
Just,
check it out.
But at the same, you gotta see though, right? Is it that bad? Because if it
I
is,
have
then
no
I would.
idea.
I kind of feel like shit. Even we'll see. We'll see, guys.
I don't think you should really manhandle that thing because it will break. I think you should
Yeah.
just leave it alone. I haven't heard of anybody else.
Yeah, it's the first.
Uh,
It's the first
doing that.
time we've heard of it, but
I do think they need to reinforce the cards just a little bit.
Make the slab a
And
little
There was
more
a
around.
comment.
flexible.
There was a comment on the video of that dude who posted the video originally. They said they were at LA Collecticon in front of the tag representative, and somebody broke the slab in front of them, showing how brittle it was, and that the reps were just like, "Oh shit! Like, what do we do?" Like, because there was people that were seeing that shit. So it is something that I think it's gonna catch on like a firestorm, bro. Like,
I don't want to shit on them. Like me, I
I
don't
like
want
the
to. I
slabs.
still like it,
I'm
but I
pro tag
understand.
very
Like
much. I'm very like positive about tag. It's just that I can't risk the end consumer giving me crap over something that wasn't my fault.
yeah,
like if the slab arrives cracked.
Which it probably more than likely could, considering how crazy UPS is, but also keeping in mind that Tag has really good shipping. Meaning they don't have the problem. It's when you ship it out
yeah,
that there's a
Yep.
problem for whatever reason, because I typically put my slabs in bubble mailers.
yeah.
But
Same here. Well, with
certain
cardboard
weights
around
that
them. Yeah,
I cannot run that risk, unfortunately. But I appreciate the effort.
yeah. I feel that.
Job Tag.
It's
Appreciate you. But moving on, I'm sending everything to PSA now.
the people will
As much
decide, I
as I
guess.
can. 'Cause I ended up selling like 26 slabs already out of that submission. So more subs are being created.
I was updated today that mine have moved to research and ID, so
Okay.
quicker than expected, at least.
My other one is still in order prep. So
Yeah,
yours is moving quicker than you expected.
yeah,
That's good.
yeah. I for sure thought I was gonna sit there for 4 months. I mean, it
Did
still
you guys
might.
see?
Then
Did you guys see Rattle made a video responding to that video the dude made about the tag slabs cracking too easily?
Yeah,
oh, what did he say?
Yeah.
I,
Well, he gave his part about it. I mean, um, I I took away from his video that he thinks they're a little too brittle. From what he was talking about, like which companies are usually like better to go with. He was talking about how that what was it, the BGS Black Label is the one that's super hard to get.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think he said that one you probably won't get unless like you work there on the weekend and go in and do it yourself. You know that it's pretty much like impossibly hard to get, but that should have the best return. But like PSA seems to be the safest bet, like return wise and everything. That's what I took away from the video.
yeah.
Um,
I don't think he really cared for tag from the beginning, just because of
mhm.
the black bag situations. Like, I think he said something like he could see it as a mystery bag. People just selling
Rattle doesn't
um
grade them.
bulk slabs. Yeah,
It's true.
So
And then
he's biased
he
from
said
the
it's
get.
not AI, right? He said it's not really AI. It's tag that takes a bunch of like scans of the thing, and the scans are supposed to pick up something, but at the end it is just the person who's doing the final evaluation. So it's not really AI grading at that point.
well,
That was
I think the
something he
person
kept referring to in the
reviews the.
video.
I think they review the scan and everything. It's what's
Oh, so a
the machine
human
is.
reviewed the scan that was made
Yeah, to
through
make
a
sure
like
like
AI or something.
Yeah.
say like the
It's
last
half and half.
like with Greenie's card it missed a dent. Like they're supposed to make sure it didn't miss anything or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
So that's the other thing. The green shits, right? He sent in a
mhm.
7.5 CGC and it came back a tag 10,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
they
And that
corrected it.
shouldn't have, right?
It was the
Correct.
first one, and apparently this AI is like learning as it goes.
Yeah.
So maybe
Yeah.
that was just such.
But
Uh,
that's why Rattle was kind of saying like, how does it learn? Because you're not grading the same exact card over and over. It's a different card. So how is it learning that, oh, this card graded this way, so now this different card, totally different, is going to grade this way because of this? Like, that is one of the points he was bringing up in the videos. Like, I could understand if you're grading the same Charizard from base set over and over. Maybe there's AI learning to grade that specific Charizard card that could over time get better.
Yeah.
But
I think
to
that's what
say because you get me, like
Well, I think like
I don't know if that made sense how I said it right now.
well, it's probably what the reviews are for. Like if you like with the greenie situation, they probably went back to the computer and then adjusted what it's supposed to see
Yeah,
versus what it didn't. I don't. There's
yeah.
probably a lot to it. I don't know. They're new. I like them. I still like the concept. I like all of. I like the idea. So we'll see. Like
I like the
it's not
idea.
as
I just
big of a fuck up as what CGC is, and we still got people full sim to CGC. So what?
yeah.
I mean,
No, I
whatever.
agree. I agree with you. I'm just
Oh,
like I like the idea of tag. I just feel like it's still in its research and development, and
yeah,
that's what I'm like not for. I don't want to be a part of the research. I'd
yeah.
They're
rather be like, okay, you're
also,
established, it's good, it's taken care of. You're no longer machine learning. You're now outputting. You get
but
me? Like that's what I
not
want.
only that, they're fresh
Well, I know
Yeah.
that.
as a business, and they're testing the waters.
And people
Like
are kind of mad
100%.
that um they're saying they
And
price.
they're bound to make mistakes. I mean, they literally just said a few weeks ago that they were going to change. No, did they say that they were going to change their label, or were
Yeah,
people
They were
telling them
thinking
that
of
they
a
should change their label,
they
or
are.
both?
well
They're
they
Okay,
working on
have a
changing them,
they
but
have a pristine, but it
fantastic.
looks similar to the
regular.
10, so they want to
Mhm.
kind of distinguish what it looks like. So they already
Yeah.
have a pristine. They would
They're
just
very pro people, and what the people say they'll more than likely do because they're that fresh
or
and trying to appeal to the people. That's actually market strategy, so it works very well.
or to their
Um,
detriment, right?
well, if you give them brittle slabs,
Yeah.
yeah, just depends. Just depends. You guys, I mean, Merc, you're gonna have to find out when you get them. I don't think it's
Can you
gonna be
guys
well.
can you guys check something right now? Can you guys check sales data to see if the news of the brittle slabs has affected specific cards in the market for tag?
I haven't seen any of the posts for the.
Like if we can see specific sales data from like 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago, and current, we could compare all four. And for the same card,
Does price charting do that? Because I don't know of any other website that does that.
I don't know
Mm,
who has tag grading
I have to
prices right now,
look at
honestly.
ZNG
The problem
Emporium's
is
Instagram or
new.
something.
Because if there's no way to really check market prices too well for it, how do you figure out how much the slabs go for?
Uh, well,
So
there's not many on the market, so you can kind of manipulate the market that
six
way.
6 days ago there was a Shining Charizard that that's it's not a comparison.
But you get me, like, cause I'm like, if you're arguing with someone on price, how do you know where the fair price really is?
Yeah, and I
If
don't really
Well,
know how I feel about that whole
guess
thing
they
either.
compare it to the PSA price, and since
well,
people
wait,
pay
wait, wait.
About the
more for a tag 10, they just bump it over PSA 10 price.
But that's saying that a Tag 10 is worth what a PSA 10 is worth, and a Tag 10 is a new company that hasn't been established, that doesn't have the sales data behind it. That's impossible to say. I can
I'm
start a new
saying that
company,
the numbers say that. Like the
but
sales say that tag right now is just is more overpriced than PSA.
think about this: how many other companies came out before Tag that gave cards 10s, and those shits weren't worth a PSA 10 ever?
DGC did the same thing when they were fresh, the last boom. Those guys, there was one point where those perfect tens were going for a lot more than a PSA 10, and
yeah.
I was salty because I was sending it to PSA, and then CGC just became a
The
wonderful,
leader at that boom,
just the worst of.
yeah,
Always like they never caught a break. Never caught a break.
he
They were
did
in
it.
the leads from day one, and
But
they never
yeah,
caught a break. The moment they said that they were grading Pokemon cards.
but it's okay. Everybody, it's okay. But tag,
So Tag has
but
it's kind
CGC
of
slabs
similar,
don't break.
but I do think they're doing a better job.
Like, but what I'm saying is, how can we say right now a Tag 10 is worth a PSA 10 when a CGC 10 is not
I
worth the
think
PSA 10, and CGC is established?
maybe they're
Well, GC is not credible anymore.
But it's established and it's been around longer and it's been doing it longer.
it's
But
either
not
It
hype.
does have a fan base, right?
There's
it
hype.
hasn't been grading Pokemon cards that long. I think it
But
started
not
like
longer than Tag.
yeah, but Tag is what everybody wants right now. So in that sense,
I
just
no,
like
I,
just
I
like
get that.
Pokemon is having a boom,
Yeah,
Tag is having their own mini boom.
yeah. But then So what stops another company from coming out tomorrow and saying, "Hey, we're better than Tag because we have a different AI. Our 10 is worth more than theirs instead of this PSA one." Like,
Bro,
you get what I'm saying? Like,
Well,
if
I've been
we
that's
start
saying
that's
let's
now, it's a
tagged
start a
to
slippery
grading.
slope. It's
that's
a
tagged
slippery
to
slope.
SGC, right?
I've been saying let's start a grading
Or
company.
AGS. I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
I
Let's
I
do
got
it.
friends that are interested.
Yeah,
No
but does it
machines.
make sense?
Just
I'm trying to think market security, not just for you as a seller, for me as a buyer.
yeah.
How the fuck am I supposed to spend this much for this slab just because it
So
has a
yeah.
10
What
from
up?
this company, a 10 from this company versus a 10 from that company versus a 10 from this company? Like,
It's
you
whatever
get
the
me?
market
So
feels at the time, and I guess right now they feel like Tag is gonna do better long term than PSA or something.
oh,
I'm not
I don't
sure
know.
where that idea came from,
Yeah.
but
But then their brittle slabs came out, and I'm like, how much did that harm it? You get me? Like,
I would
As far as
love to find
trust
one.
goes, and as a new person, as a consumer, like go with the most established that's been there forever. If you're looking for investment, long term type of shit. But I'm
yeah.
interested in tag because it's new and it looks good, right? So I'm not trying to steer anybody that way.
I
No, I get
to
you. You
be
wanted it like a display thing, right? Because
Yeah,
you really like how clear it looks and everything.
yeah, it just
And
looks good. No,
I'm all for that. But I'm specifically just referring to the market in this question because everything I'm saying about tag refers back to the market. And I don't see very many people with your view, Merc, where it just looks beautiful and I know it's not worth as much, but I'm going to have it because it's going to display greatly versus this is an investment. We got to go and spend our money here. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
so that's why I'm trying to figure things out here.
be fair, I only decided that I was gonna grade with Tag because I saw that the prices were a little more expensive than PSA. Also, I wanted to try out a few cards that PSA just kind of ruined, like sevens. I don't understand what happened.
And I get
I
that.
see what
And
Tag
with that, I would agree with. I think that's kind of cool for science. You get what I mean?
was
I think
science
that's a noble way.
and for money.
I
Like
like
I was like, yeah, two birds, one stone, you know? Because this is
Yeah.
always fascinating to check out like new grading companies and see like what their grading standards are
if it
I
without
get
actually
you.
getting
looks
too
good.
wrecked, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah. I graded two cards with Arena Club grading when they were at Card Party. They were just random energy hollow cards from back in the day that I had extra just because I wanted to see how the slabs were. That's it. It was a free thing that I had at Card Party, but I've never graded any other cards with them. But this whole tag company gives me so much, like, such the same vibe as Arena Club of how it started out, how it's promoting and stuff. And Arena Club didn't seem to catch on. It seemed to have fizzled out. So that's why I don't know. I'm still very very skeptical with tag, but I am open to changing my mind.
I liked at
With the future.
first that their margins were slimmer to getting a 10, like the 55-45 versus PSA 60-40. But now PSA has changed, so it came down to the slab. But at that point, now the slab's brittle. So
So how did this get a 10?
let's see.
Thick on the top. I guess they didn't change the Japanese standards.
Go to the back.
It's more thick right there than down here too.
I think the back's fine. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
back looks good.
It could be because they wrecked me on every other card that I put in that submission, except a handful. But these two cards, they didn't upcharge me for them,
Yeah,
which is surprising because I think it's because they wrecked me on all the other cards. I'm onto them. Conspiracies galore. I'm gonna start sending really crappy cards just so they give me PSA 10s on some really nice expensive ones. Gonna be
Oh.
wonderful. It's gonna be those pity 10s, just perfect.
was that Misty's just super clean but a little off, basically?
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
mm,
much. I
I
didn't
might just let you slide,
let me get a
which
light.
is objectivity.
By
One
the
sec.
way, let me give a big old shout out here to AMPM Pokemon. What's up, homie? One of the first ones here in chat. We do have Droop OPM. How's it going, Droop
Appreciate you guys.
Ooh,
OPM? And we have yeah. How's it going? Yeah.
What
Thank you
up,
very
dog?
much, everybody, for stopping by today, checking out our little podcast here. Just a few grown men arguing about some shiny cardboard and what's going on in the industry regarding that shiny cardboard.
Yeah, it's clean.
Yeah.
Your
I just let you
intros
slide.
are wonderful.
So
Do y'all think I was a little too hard on tag right there? Like low key?
it's your opinions, man. Yeah.
I think that was on point.
All right, because I
I,
do have one positive thing to say about him from LA Collecticon. I wasn't there, but I have a few friends that were there. You were able to get a card made of you, and it was like a slab from them,
I've
and it
seen that.
showcased like you. It was a one of one Eddie G from Beys Showcase card that could have been made or something. That's kind of neat. That's a cool little thing, you know.
Yeah.
I'll give him that.
Take your picture and make a card out of it.
Yeah, I'll give him that. That's pretty cool.
Especially like a little family photo or something. That's cool.
For me, I see it as a nice little gimmick to let somebody hold your slab and have it as a little like token.
Yeah.
And later on, hey, this looks pretty nice. I could put these Pokemon cards in there. I feel like it's spot on for that.
So, do you think? We got some megas coming up, some mega sets.
Mm-hmm.
Scarlet and Violet's probably going to be cut short. Do you think? And the rumor is Mega Lucario is going to be somewhere in the anime. Do you think we're going to get Horizon's trainers Mega Pokemon, or just Pokemon from the game, or
tough call.
What if we go? Okay.
Have you guys noticed that Ash is never really featured in Pokemon cards?
Yeah.
Normally it's Red from the video game.
Right.
Don't they have Ash's Pikachu?
But we got Liko and Roy.
Good call. They do. They have a variety of Ash's Pikachus wearing the hat.
Yep.
And they have Ash's Pikachu in Japanese, where it's a whole GX promo, and it's very attractive.
And they have, I believe in Sun and Moon there might be an Ash with Gary card.
Oh, that's Red.
Yeah, it's Red.
It was Red?
Yeah.
It wasn't Ash with Gary?
And don't they call him Red and Blue?
Red and Blue.
I might be wrong.
Depends on the hat.
I'm gonna look into that one.
I'm not sure what card he's talking about though.
Because Red and Blue are the video game versions.
The manga.
Yeah.
The OG ones. But since the TCG is based on the video game, that's why you don't see anime characters. I mean, you see anime characters. It's just they're based more on the video game rather than the anime. So you don't see Satoshi, which is Ash.
We've got like Pokemon ZZ for next, like Zygarde and Zekrom, because that's what the game's about, right? Basically. I don't know about Zekrom. Zygarde at least.
Zygarde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Zygarde is in the anime as well.
What I've heard is that it ties into Mega Rayquaza.
And shiny Mega Rayquaza.
Probably.
Because they shiny in the anime.
Well, it wasn't that like a Terra Crystal?
Or is it just a...
Yeah, because this one is like...
Just Black Rayquaza.
Rayquaza that was in the old Alpha Sapphire game.
And it's got Mega moves.
Yeah. So, apparently, Zygarde is confirmed to have a Mega, and Zeraora is confirmed to have a Mega.
That'll be cool.
That'll be very cool. Yeah. So far. But we can pretty much assume Rayquaza, there's going to be a lot of Gen 3 Pokemon.
You think all the starters are getting Megas? Or variants?
Starters?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, for the game.
They're getting variants, but they could get Megas too. It just depends on which way they want to go with this. Because what I saw was Chikorita has Dazzling Gleam in the beginning in its starter moveset.
Okay.
At level like 5 in the trailer.
Yeah.
And Chikorita never had Dazzling Gleam before, so the idea is maybe its final form is going to be a region variant with Fairy type.
I like the...
It's going to be Fairy Meganium.
I like the real-time battles. Go ahead.
No Ash cards actually at all in the English TCG. The Ash's Pikachu's are the only ones with a mention to him. All of them that I was thinking about feature red.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so y'all were right. It does say that red was reimagined as Ash. So
Or Ash
Makes
was.
sense.
or yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, or Ash into red or
Yeah.
whatever. But it basically says that one was reimagined as the other. So whichever one came first
Hmm.
basically made the other. So
Yeah.
that's led to people's confusion, it said.
So your confusion.
Yeah, I always thought I was playing
I
with
am
Ash.
part of the confusion, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a very heavily searched one right now on
Yeah.
Google. There's like a bunch of it was one of the trending search topics.
So,
Oh.
I do want to talk about one thing about Pokemon Presents. It's extremely outdated at this point, but I do want to mention a few things because they actually separated a mechanic from the original Pokemon games and made their very own game out of it. So, that one, the ones we know is Legends Z through A that's coming out, but they pulled out the game mechanics where you fight, use items, that in-game mechanics where you
The
catch Pokemon and all that,
the real time
and they
battles.
put it, yeah,
Yeah.
and they put it into, well, I don't know how you explain that format of battle where each person has a turn and all that.
You got turn based, and then they changed it into real time battles. So you're
Right.
actually
Well,
battling on the while
so
everybody's moving.
Legends ZA is real-time battle versus what they've done now is that they took out that turn battle
Yeah.
and they put it into its own game, and that's called Pokemon Champions. I
Well,
think
that's
it's
like
called.
a yeah Pokemon chain. It's like a just basically a competitive hub for like.
Yeah, but bro, that is
Is it turn
essentially
based?
like Pokemon
Yeah, it is turn
Stadium.
based. Yeah.
It's like Pokemon Stadium,
Well,
right?
they wanted
That is so freaking cool.
yeah,
That could they
and it's
literally rip that out of the game, and that in itself could be
Mark.
its
What up?
own tournament thing. And I don't know. I feel bullish for that.
I really like it. It's
What do you guys think about
you don't have to own the Switch either because it's either mobile and Switch, so it's gonna give everybody a chance to play. Like, because Switch games are expensive, but I think it's gonna be free to play. You just in-game purchases and stuff. But it's like that's what we've been wanting, right? Just a hub to go battle each other. Like, make your team and come at me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm excited for it.
that? And you can do it from the phone.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Like,
that's pretty cool.
yeah,
Or the Switch.
yeah. Uh, what's Mark say, base? Go ahead.
All right. So Mark was saying, by the way, how's it going, Mark?
Ooh.
It's Mark
What up?
Haggart. Hopefully I got the last name correctly there. Said, of all the Pokemon, who would you say is your favorite and why? Perhaps a personal story? No legendary or mythical. Mine will always be Pidgeot because of a personal story. That's pretty nice. Shout out to Pidgeot there.
Yeah, man. Pidgeot's got a good card.
So I'll let you guys go first. I'll go last. I'm always the one who takes the longest with an answer, so I go last.
Man, should I go? Go
If
ahead,
you want
FOMO.
to, I can't think of anything. Well, I can think of. Let's see.
A
Hmm.
personal story with my favorite Pokemon. Uh, if I go Gen 1, it's Ninetales, right? I'm not really sure why, though. Like, it's just always stuck with me. It lives for 1,000 years. It's the nine-tailed fox, Kitsune, so I don't know. It's always like, hang on. It's right here.
Nice.
Yep.
That's right,
So,
buddy.
I don't know.
It's your
It's always
Represent.
spirit
stuck with me.
animal.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that's
The
nothing wrong with
fox.
that. That's awesome, bro. I love that.
I guess. I was like Togepi.
For real?
Okay.
That's what's
Ooh.
up.
Yeah,
Okay.
because in the anime, it was like the one egg that I had no idea what was gonna hatch out of it, and it wasn't like I didn't know it from the Pokédex.
Okay.
I think it's because is it even in the Gen 1 Pokédex? I can't remember at this point. But
I don't think
uh,
so.
saw that thing when I was a kid,
It
I
was
was like,
Neo.
"Oh my God, what is this thing gonna turn into?" And the speculation was real, and I was like, "There's so much potential with this thing," and then it turns into Togetic
Yeah.
in Gen 2,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Should have made it a little dragon or something.
"Okay,"
Yeah.
and then like in Gen 5, it turns into Togekiss. That's just this round, bigger
Yeah.
egg, and
I need to
yeah,
get a
then
hoodie for
that's where
Togepi.
my dreams went.
Yeah. I respect that.
So
Clef is cute too.
Cleffa is pretty cute. Yeah, Cleffa's cool. So you like the cute Pokemon?
Yeah, for sure.
And his
That's dope.
Mewtwo's
Yeah, that's
like
right.
the
Mewtwo's
most
not fun.
evil and the most cute. Like no in between.
Yeah, it's balance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So for me, I mean, my answer is always long. I've always been asked what my favorite Pokemon is, and honestly, I have a hard time coming up with my favorite. You get me? Um, because I tend to have a batch of favorite Pokemon. You get me? It really depends on. Are you asking me if it's my favorite Pokemon because of the show, the series in general? Is it my favorite Pokemon because of the games when I used to play? Is it my favorite Pokemon through the cards that I've collected? So I always have a very hard time answering that. You get me? But honestly, if I gotta narrow it down, it really comes down to two contenders, and I am the basic bitch. I've said it several times over again. I love Charizard and Pikachu, but if I had to choose one, I'd go with Pikachu. And the big reason, honestly, is not because it's the mascot. It's not because it's the most recognized. It's not because it's adorable, which it is. Think about it: Pikachu, Mickey Mouse, and make the connection there. But you get me. This is why Pikachu's my favorite. When the anime came out, Pikachu for Ash was a little fucking rebel. He never went in the damn Pokeball. He shocked Ash and he was like, fuck you. But when it came down to it, when Ash got attacked by the flock of the Pidgeys, right? Pikachu fucking saved him. Pikachu came through and Pikachu was, it's sweet little, like, he's like, you're my owner. I love Pikachu because of that.
Ash got attacked by
Pikachu's my little
birds.
rebel. I love you.
What a
Spirit animal.
what a puss.
Pikachu
Put
tears
him
have
up,
been
put him up.
reported to revive human beings from being turned to stone. So that's some
With the
pretty.
Mew and Mewtwo strikes back, right?
But well, actually, in the first movie where Ash
Oh,
turns to stone and Pikachu cries and like revives him with his tears and stuff, actually, doesn't that make him a mythical Pokemon? So that doesn't count. We're getting into niches now.
Yeah. Also, Ninetales can understand
You can't have
human
healing
language.
tears without being a mythical.
all right, then Charizard. Because he's a fucking pocket dragon, and you're a little kid and you're like, burn it, now let's fly
Beys,
away.
are you going Charizard
Yeah.
X or Charizard Y? Black and blue
Ooh,
or orange and yellow?
black and blue is so nice. It's
Or
just
just, no, the orange one. The
The
OG
pointy
one.
head
OG one.
or no the
which one do you
mega
prefer?
Oh, for the
spiky head.
Megas?
Yeah, the spiky.
For the Megas? No, I like the darker one for the
Yeah.
Megas.
Okay.
Yeah,
What
for
about
the Megas, I like the darker one.
What about Mewtwo? I like Mewtwo Y, the one where he looks like Mew.
The crazy predator
Yeah,
shit.
that's
Yeah.
alien thing.
Yeah, he's trippy looking like that.
You would have changed his face, you could have made him
Yeah.
look. And nowadays, you can meme that.
He looked like you know the legendary mode on Halo? The that white head?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I think about. AM PM. I would like it to be on the Switch, but I wonder if you have to pay to play online on mobile because I know the Switch you have to pay for online, so I would probably end up playing on mobile. Yeah. Um, I don't know. It's tough to say, right?
I think it's gonna be time based. They're gonna let you. They're gonna
Or
give you an energy gauge, and each energy is like a battle. Let's say,
do you need
and then
Switch Online for free to play
stuff time.
games?
Hmm?
Do you need Switch Online for free to play games, or can you
Yeah.
just play through Wi-Fi?
No, you still need the online to have
Okay.
access because it's like that on PlayStation too. I have the PlayStation, so in order to play the free to play one like Warzone,
Yeah.
I need to pay to have online access to play multiplayer.
Okay. Well, I mean, it doesn't. The graphics could have been a little better, but it's got to be on mobile, so
And
still
then
though, I'm excited for it.
real
Well,
quick,
some good graphics for mobile. Have you guys seen Dragon Ball Legends?
uh,
Graphics
I haven't.
are like better than, well, not the new video game because the new video game's like super cool, but What was the last Dragon Ball game?
By the
Xeno.
way,
Don't ask
Oh
me.
my
I'll say Budokai because that's probably the
yeah.
last one I played.
God, it's better than Xenoverse.
Xenoverse, the new one is.
Yeah, graphics wise. I mean,
I remember you sending me all the trailers.
for what we had then
Yeah.
versus what we had just before this recent game that is absolutely amazing, it was night and day.
Is there no open world Dragon Ball Z? Anything?
They tried that with like Budokai 3 and I think some Tenkashi games. Um,
Way back in the day, Game Boy Advance.
well, PS2, I think. Yeah, PS2. Then they switched it. They preferred showing the actual scenes from the anime and then going into the fight
So it was big.
instead of doing that like whole world.
Yeah, big story.
Oh,
Story
but
driven.
Xenoverse did have a big ass world. And it's
Mhm.
still a server that runs and everything.
It'd be really cool if you can have guilds, like on Stadium. Yeah, or at least teams or something. Yeah,
That would be very cool.
I need to. I
Did you
need to
guys
rewatch
see
the trailer.
AMPM Pokemon? His favorite is Alakazam.
Yeah,
And
man,
then
Spoon
Mark
Man.
earlier had Pidgey out for his iFOMO.
Spoon.
Nice. Actually, yeah, Pidgeotto is the last evolution. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
mine was Pidgeotto because he showed up so much in the anime. And because he showed up, I mean, it was one of my favorites. Because he showed up so much in the anime and he got to the like basically the finals of the Champions League. Is that what it's called? Pokemon League? Pokemon League. So I saw him a lot in the anime, so that one was a favorite, but I was waiting for him to evolve the whole time. Took until the whole
Yep.
show for him to evolve.
Yeah.
And then he left. Like, bro, you be doing that to me?
Yeah.
Like that?
If you
Oh.
guys have questions, be sure to ask as well. Just if
Well,
anything,
not just questions. Let's get the chat involved as
or
well,
some
right? Like
topics or
anything we're
anything.
talking about, chat.
We just
Let us know what
ramble.
you guys think about it as well.
Oh man.
Hey, by the way, are we gonna go back to the Rob Burns thing? I felt like we just went
Let's
over
do
that
it.
one kind of quick.
What? Go ahead.
Yeah, we can go back to that. So
What's on your mind?
So, like, I don't know, like that in general. Do you feel now that he exited, there might be others who have wanted to exit that we will see exiting as well? Because it does feel like little by little we've had a trickle of some people exiting. The whole content creation, the hobby in general. And due to some of the points you brought up, I do feel like they have affected other content creators that have decided to exit uh, recently as well.
I was worried about one, but then I saw a video that
Depends
this
on.
person posted recently, and nah, he's cool.
I guess it's
He'll
all.
be fine. But
It's the reasoning
mm,
for being here, right? Like, I don't know. If you
I
get
don't
burnt out on
think
the cards, look to the people. Or that's basically what's kept me here. You know what I mean? Like,
I think Rob was very inspirational to a lot of people to make content, and he was very inspirational to people who are already content creators to keep doing what they're doing because he put such a positive spin on everything.
Yeah.
Uh,
oh,
it's
Sugar
definitely
Bear.
a massive hit.
Surprise,
It's just
surprise. What up?
it's hey, what's up,
Back from
buddy?
the
Hi.
beach?
Sorry to interrupt.
Actually,
Whatever.
you came just in time.
Oh, okay.
We're
Cool.
talking about we were just starting to talk about the Rob situation.
Rob Burns.
Oh, yeah.
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 Shout
Yeah.
out. He can always come back. Like, if it's by popular demand, right? Like,
Well,
Yeah.
forget
if
the
I
that
feel
pride.
was
like
If
a
the people want
permanent,
him back, he can come eventually when he's ready to, of course. But
yeah,
by popular
I
demand,
get
that's
that.
okay.
I feel
When
like he
he's
should just
ready.
come back and be branded. Just come back
Yeah,
with the brand name that you were thinking about.
Well, I
but if you
think he
come back
wants
and
to
you
figure
rebrand,
his
it's
personal stuff
different,
out.
right? It
I mean,
is different.
you can always market it yourself with the brand.
Yeah.
It's gonna
I
be
don't
great.
know.
Doug, what up?
Like
He
I'm seeing it as a viewer. don't like I'm not even seeing it as like is it gonna be hard or anything like that, or not seeing it through behind the scenes. Just seeing it as a viewer, like it felt so like like
It was a letdown. It
permanent. It
was
just felt like it was done. Like he wouldn't. I feel.
it was
I don't know.
yeah.
I have no way of knowing, but I feel like he wouldn't come back after that and be like, all right, I did change my mind. I did get a lot of people that reached out. I feel he had that decision made, no matter how many people are gonna reach out, and how he says at the end, "Catch you on the next one," or "I'll see you," see you on the next one, or something. After saying he won't be back. That sounded like that last hello. Look, ah, that last goodbye. I said hello there. That last goodbye. Like he's not gonna come back. Like that's the end of the channel. Like, and that's why I do feel, well, how you said, if he comes back, it would be rebranding, but it would feel different because it's no longer. Let's look at the numbers and all the gimmicks that he had before. It would be him, still him, bringing his
Yeah.
personality, but it would have to be like something different because he's showing at that point, hey, I already turned over a new page. This is a new chapter going forward. Like that's the way I'm seeing
There's
it. But
always new
again, I could be wrong.
catchphrases. There's always new catchphrases. He can pull it off.
If he wants.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think he could pull it off. Yeah,
Get his
Yeah.
situation in order, and it'll be fine.
Well, that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
And then reassess, optimize, and figure out which direction you want to take, either in life or in business.
Shugg, what you
Yeah.
thinking about?
I watched the video. I thought he did something like that
I'll
before
turn it down a little
on
bit.
his channel where he
He
took a
exited
break.
out.
What was the title of the video? Was it my last Pokemon video or my last Pokemon investing video?
I think it's like the last Pokemon investing video or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. He may come back.
Or
I don't think he plans on it. I think it was like a top 10 Pokemon when he took his break. Um, I think it just, I don't think he has a plan to come back, but if he does, he does,
Yeah.
yeah,
But I left a message. I messaged him on Instagram too. Um, to like show some support and stuff because he's doing it at a time when his channel's like growing really well, and it seemed like he was actually enjoying like because he was doing so many lives and having so many
Mhm.
different people on, which was
It-
like a little different than what he was doing before. And so I thought his channel was already going in like a different direction, and it
Mm-hmm.
just seemed like he was enjoying a lot of it. But I gave him props for like recognizing, even though he's in this growing period and a lot of popularity on social media or in the community, a lot of people respect him. He still had the you know ability to recognize that he needed to step away and
Yeah.
be more of a family man. So that's
yeah,
that's good that he did that because that's hard to do if you got all this, especially if you're growing like he did.
Yeah. Work on yourself rather than the channel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
that's cool. He'll always be probably in the community too. I could see him being in the chats, and stuff like that. And so
I feel like he'll be in Mimic Brew's videos because those two were
Yeah.
pretty close.
yeah,
That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty awesome. Like him coming on as a like a surprise secret guest, because you wouldn't even expect it. Dude, that'd be pretty mind blowing. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like Mimic Brew is gonna start putting Rob in his videos to the point where we're not gonna know what he recorded recently and what he recorded like last year.
Get you.
what you guys
Yeah.
talk about earlier?
Oh,
Anything else?
Mostly fucking
Tag
tag.
and the Pokemon Champions game
Yeah.
where
Okay.
they basically took the turn system from fighting from the Pokemon games, where it's like you get a turn, you make your move, and then you end your turn. It's the next person's turn.
Turn based.
Oh, that's how they're doing it.
Yeah, so they took that out of Legends Arceus and they put that into Pokemon Champions.
Mm,
So it's
okay.
kind of like a Pokemon Stadium.
I think they're gonna use it for
Situ-
like VGC or something.
and it's on the phone and it's going to be on the Nintendo Switch. And I think in the leaks they had mentioned that that was that big game that Pokemon was developing other than Z through A.
Yeah.
This must be it. And
Mm.
this must be what they were talking about. I think being able to only make that fighting system in the game is going to save them a bunch of graphics like a bunch of memory or whatever to be able to enhance the graphics so that those graphics will be as good as they can possibly be with the Switch or with your phone.
I wonder if they'll have like Z moves, Mega moves, Gigantamax,
Possibly.
Dynamax. Like, yeah, but how do you decide? Like, how do you
This game
battle
could
each
be
other with?
very complex.
Yeah,
And I am terrible at those kinds of games because I am all offense. I'm just attack, attack, attack.
yeah.
And potion, attack.
Yeah.
Hyper potion. Max revive.
Sleep. Yeah.
What do you guys have to say about the tag stuff?
Oh,
It's
I went on a
disappointing.
little rant again.
We don't have to get back into it because I know you guys talked
Yeah,
about it
let's
in the
get into
audiences probably, but I'm just curious what you guys said about it.
I'm disappointed. I still,
Yeah.
I'm,
You're
I
talking
still,
about the cracking of the slabs, the Ramsey Rip stuff, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It just seemed too
Yeah.
I'm
easy
gonna step
to.
away for just like a few seconds, but you guys fill them in while I'm away still.
I still like them,
Yeah, it seems
but
easy.
it's, yeah.
Okay, so for me, it's just too risky because of the end consumer uh, getting the slab broken or them messing with the slab and it popping and breaking. I don't need that. I've never had problems selling things over the internet. I don't need that on me. I don't need to start now. So I like
Yeah.
tag. I just need them to reinforce their freaking slabs just a little tiny bit, and then I'm on board. But if the customer is not happy, then I'm not sure. One thing that Bay said that was very interesting was he was wondering if Tag had any price dips due to this news.
I'm sure it had some effect. It
Yeah.
seems like big enough news, and like I said, I'm still in that Facebook tag group on that they have. And I don't know if you guys are on that, but people are going back and forth consistently about that. And there's the people that are what they call the PSA lover boys or whatever, and then they got the tag fans going back and forth. And then some guy made a video of him doing the same thing to a PSA slab with his thumb, but he struggled a bit more than the tag slab. He was able to do it, but it was just like I don't know. People are still talking about it, and I'm sure because of how much attention it's getting. And then Rattle made a video right
Yeah.
recently,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
so it's like it's even more out there. But yeah, I'm sure it's affected people's views on it. Like some people in the comments are like, "Well, I guess I'm not great with tag anymore." Like people liked it a
Me,
lot, the
I said
company,
that.
and then they're like, "Well, no, you said it," but there was people in the tag Facebook group that were saying it too, and just
Oh,
comments throughout the week since it's happened. Lots of people talking about it, but yeah, I kind of feel the same as you guys kind of said. It's kind of like, oh, that's kind of a turn off.
It's a letdown, man.
Everything else about it, I don't mind. Tag looks great. The slabs look great. They're
well,
I kind of like the AI thing, but yeah, that's kind of like a turn off for me. But
in the Rattle video, he mentioned how they gave the guy 2 days to respond and he didn't respond, so they removed their comment responding to him on his video.
On
What
his
about that?
video.
I don't think it's removed. I actually I mean, I haven't looked, but they on the Facebook page they said that, and they made a post saying that we tried to reach out to Ramsey Rips. We left a comment and we gave him 2 days. This is
Yeah,
something that I like talked about on the Facebook group like 3 or 4 days ago, and Tag put this out, and they were like, it makes it seem like he's trying to bash our name and blah blah blah. And I went on his video, and it's like buried in the comments for some reason. YouTube like
it
didn't put
is.
it like yeah like if you change it to newest, I think that's how I found
All
it.
right,
Um,
let me see if I can bring it up
and
because
then I'd
I
screenshot it.
did look for it. Yeah.
I screenshot it and I sent it to Tag, and I was like, "You said he was not, he deleted your comment or blah blah blah." But he made a post and then about it, like community post, like he had said in his video, his follow-up video,
Mm-hmm.
and I screenshot that and I put it to him. I was like, "Here, like," and they said, "Oh well, he said they're fragile." And I was like, "I'm not arguing whether they're fragile or it's a design, like a planned design thing. I just said you said he didn't reply to you or didn't make it known to his community that you guys replied." And I was like, "He did. He put a community post out."
Yeah.
Um, and so they kind of dropped it at that. But yeah, I screenshot everything now because I'm like, oh, something's gonna get deleted.
Just in case anyone.
I need proof.
Bro,
Yeah.
you have no idea how many times people have been like, "Oh, do you have the proof?" And I'm like, "I need proof at this point." Like,
How do you really
Yeah, it's like
respond to that?
I knew.
Like
No, I'm just like, no proof.
as like for Tag, how How? What are they supposed to say? Like, how do
They
they?
said that it's a planned design thing, right? Like that's how they were
They
supposed
It's
to.
said
a
that
feature, like
it's
a safety feature, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But Rock Sandy said it best in his video. He's like, just because it's a safety feature, a planned like
yeah,
part of design, doesn't mean it's a good idea.
right.
And I kind of like
Like,
that's how I feel about it. It's like you thought it was a good idea. Maybe some people like that, but I feel like the majority of people are like, I put it in a case not only to get it graded, but also to protect the
yeah,
card.
to protect the
Um,
quality that it
Yeah.
got
and
graded
so
in.
like if I'm gonna be afraid of touching it or like even putting it, I just told you guys the other day I got graded cards and
Yeah.
Oh,
these things are hard to put it like put them in, and I'm like wondering now like if I put any pressure on the tag slab trying to get it in this,
yeah.
is it gonna crack? I'm gonna try it when I get my
Damn.
tag submission back, but I'm kind of curious because I was struggling to get the CGC and the PSA slabs in there. Maybe I was doing it wrong, but
You
we'll
know
see.
AMPM
what's
said
funny,
it's
though?
a no for him. So
What's
So no.
funny about Tag is that they're willing to change their label, but they draw the line at the slab.
when they got
Why is that?
they can knock
Why
it
did
out
we push
2 for
such a
one now.
button?
Yeah,
Say what?
I said they can do a 2 for 1 now. Upgrade the slab and the label.
Might as
Yeah.
well. Nobody wants their crappy slabs. That dude, the moment it falls on the floor, it's gonna break. What the
Yeah,
hell? The moment I stick it in the mailbox for it to go to the post office, someone's gonna
Kind of
sit
wanted to
on it.
grab
It's
a
gonna
PSA
break.
slab.
No,
yeah.
not even sit
I
on
got
it.
a PSA, a
When it goes
Beckett, and a
You
in the
CGC back
sneeze.
mail
there.
carrier bag and other mail goes on top of it, it will crack it with the pressure.
Yeah.
There's just so many ways this can go wrong, and we'll see. I don't know. I haven't heard any problems so far from like sellers on eBay saying, "Oh, this person sold me a crappy slab that was cracked when it got to the."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, check this out too. Shug, I made this one of my arguments earlier. When have you heard of someone cracking open a PSA slab, taking out the card, putting in a shittier card, sealing that slab, and giving it to you, and you're like, oh yeah, this doesn't look tampered with?
And I would say
What do you-
they break the slab because there's no tag label, right? So they would want to use the slab instead of the label. Like,
I'm not following even. I know. I think you're saying like when the people take the slabs and they
So
take the real label out and put it in a fake PSA slab
no.
with the real label.
So imagine you have a PSA slab, right?
Okay.
And you want to take out the card because it's a PSA 10. So you could put a shittier card in there
Okay.
and seal that slab up and give it to somebody saying this is a PSA 10.
you
But
say,
in
Okay.
reality, you kept the 10,
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
right? But you use the same slab body that you just cracked open. Like, when have you heard of that?
nobody,
Never.
yeah, exactly.
Because
Yeah, that's a
tag
good point.
says
Yeah.
they're so brittle, so you can't put it back together and sell it to somebody.
Well, I think what they're saying is because they don't have a label on theirs.
The
Oh
outside
no,
would
what am I?
fracture.
But
Like,
if they don't have a label, it's okay. The slab itself, right?
Because people
When
were
you,
taking the PSA cards, they were cracking the slab. They were getting fake PSA slabs, but they were keeping the label, the real
yeah,
labels,
yeah,
and then putting in the shittier version of like whatever card. Like that guy that did. There's some Chinese guy that did like a Cedra. He's like some rich guy, but he had like this scam going. Like Rattle covered it like a years back, but took some like 10 Cedra from I forget what set. Did what you're saying, but he used a fake like a Timu slab or like
yeah.
a
That's still
Alibaba slab, but he used the real
yeah.
PSA label. So I think that's what they were saying is because they don't have the flip or the label, um,
they'd use the whole
that's why
slab.
Can't
their
do that.
slabs crack. So you can't like I don't know. They were trying to phrase it like something like that, but I know what you're saying. Like nobody uses the same slab to reseal
Yeah,
a PSA card.
But they would have
yeah.
to with
Um,
tag though. So
They were,
I mean, I can.
and
yeah,
It's
they
supposedly
would
that's
have
why
to.
they're so
Yeah,
brittle.
it
But
makes sense, but then again, it's unfortunate, right?
Wouldn't it be easier to 3D print acrylic?
yep,
Just
Ah,
you
and how
wouldn't
hard is
use
it
that
to
PSA,
laser etch in like a like they do? They use laser
right?
etching, right, for
That's
Katie,
the.
what
what
I'm
up?
saying.
How hard is
All
Yeah,
right,
that to
check
do?
it out. For
I'm
PSA,
sure
they
it
don't
has.
reuse
I'm
the
sure it
labels
has
all the
some kind
time.
of
Sometimes they just
indicator.
get up. What was that?
So I'm sure they have some kind of indicator, like a
Oh,
dollar bill or something, or a black light or some
well,
type of
Mm.
something.
what I was gonna say for PSA, they don't even use the slab, the real certificate. Sometimes they just get the number for the actual certificate, the real certificate number, and they'll print out the fake slab like label with the real
Yeah.
number on it. That's why Opossum Bud said Watch out for
Yeah.
that weird G with that bottom drip
They're still
that they always
Yeah.
have.
they're doing that at GameStop right
So
now.
so if you make a fake slab, you're probably
At
using a
GameStop.
fake slab body
Selling
with a
fake
fake
cards.
slab label, right? And you're just
Yeah.
using a real certificate number that you typed in. So with a tag one, I can make a fake acrylic body, laser etch a fake label, and use a real tag number from a real tag slab, and I just defeated the whole purpose of it being brittle.
Yeah, you don't even need. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't need to be brittle because no one reuses the same slab body. That's the only
Yeah.
reason why the slab body should be brittle. So you can't reuse that freaking slab body. Everything else
Yeah.
doesn't matter
That
because
seems
of
like
what I just stated.
that's so
I feel
much
like it should
effort
be
though.
free.
But I
Replace
mean,
it.
it's possible. I'm just
But that's obviously like not profitable. I mean, these acrylic slabs, it doesn't really make any sense because the whole point is that they're gonna get ruined very easily. And then what? You're gonna have to resend them to tag and pay another $15 to get them.
That thing breaks. It's going back to PSA.
yeah.
So they're trying to make you a repeat customer because with PSA
That
you grade once for life and no one ever has to regrade that card if they're happy. But with tag, grade once and you're happy, but it broke. Grade it again and you're happy, but it broke. Grade it again and you're happy, but it broke. It's a
you hit the
turnkey
nail on
operation.
the head, bro. And I
Hmm?
think you're absolutely right, and I think this is the strategy this business is taking. And I
Mhm.
can't confirm it, but this, if they don't fix this, I can see the ulterior motive behind what they're doing.
I think we're
If they're
overthinking
not,
it.
if they're
Yeah.
willing to change their label, but they're not willing to change their body, what are we doing?
Right?
What's up, Katie?
At least
Katie's in the
Hey,
chat.
Katie Jade.
Kitty?
How's it going?
What's up, everybody else? I
Yeah.
didn't say hi to anybody when I hopped in. What's up, everybody? Um.
Yeah, we have
Yeah, that's
AMPM
on.
Pokemon, Katie Jade. So yeah, those are just a few people here.
I was
I don't know why.
bullish on
any
tag
questions or
until you
topics,
mentioned
let us know.
Yeah.
But did I
Um.
did I make sense with what I said?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
trying
you
to be
did.
devil's advocate as much as I can.
Yeah, but that's what's been heavy on my mind. After their response came out about it being brittle and why it's brittle, and I'm just like that's not making a lick of goddamn sense to me, boy. Like I just no. I
I
know
mean,
when I'm being lied
I
to.
get it
I
now
know when I'm being lied to.
that they
it
don't.
was
I get the fact they
what?
don't have a label, and they want to. It'll splinter out completely if you try to.
Yeah,
I get that,
cool.
but it's still shitty, right? It's still unfortunate that it breaks so easily.
Yeah, I'm wondering how hard it is going to be crack a card out of there. Like if I can't get it all off in one piece, or have to like, you crack a PSA slab and
Yeah.
you can like lift the top off. I'm wondering if the
Yeah.
tag slags I'm going to be like breaking pieces off to get it out
That
if I have to crack them.
that Earth
Yeah,
ring
yeah.
card, I was like scared for that dude taking that card out. No, it was a test, but I was like, that looked like a good card.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
9 or whatever, tag 9, whatever that means. I don't know, but
Whatever that
Um,
means,
It's
exactly.
PSA 10.
Also,
yeah,
we brought up the green shits card. Wasn't there a 7.5 CGC he sent and it became a tag 10? They didn't see a crease or something on it?
Yeah,
yeah, that was
was in the
that's like
beginning.
old video, but yeah, that's something I think like
Yeah.
I'm glad Rattle brought that up because I've said that to people too, and they are like, "Oh, tag's so great, tag the consistency," and it's like, yeah, it's maybe more consistent now than it was then, but it's like there are times, and it was a big card.
Yeah.
Um,
Machine
and I love,
learning.
yeah, so I'm glad. Yeah. But anyway,
Oh,
But it's
AMPM
very
Pokemon. AMPM Pokemon said, "Here's the thing for me. If I sell a $10,000 card and the slab breaks in the mail and a shard scratches and completely ruins the card, that's just fucking crazy. Because that's true. If it breaks in the mail and they say send it in to get recertified, but a shard scratched it, it's no longer the same grade.
Where did you get that?
Now what?
I don't even see that message.
You have to give the customer a refund in that case.
He put it
Yeah.
in after Katie Jade, after she said things are good yourself.
I see Katie's oh no, seems everyone's sick.
Oh yeah,
it's
this
up
was
2 from there.
Up
it
to
Right
was
above
I
it.
don't see it.
A couple messages above it. AMPM.
Don't see it.
it was
That's weird.
hidden for some reason. It was held
I know
for
it's got the
review.
all chat and top chat, but I don't see that for me.
The
Oh, it was.
Maybe somebody
Stream-
reported it.
Streamlabs-
No?
Streamlabs cannot handle that much money.
I'm on live chat.
Streamlabs.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. It's the comment was, here's the thing for me: if you sell $10,000 card and the slab breaks in the mail and shard scratches and completely ruins the card, that's just fucking crazy.
That's
Yeah.
why, because it says
Yeah.
fucking. Streamlabs will block the message from your.
Well, I'm on
Right.
Discord, though.
OBS. And
10,000.
I'm on
I
OBS.
think it's YouTube, maybe. I don't know.
But I'm
Probably.
looking at
Anyway,
OBS chat, not YouTube.
I will say, getting to play devil's advocate like Merc was earlier, if Tag, if they don't change the design of their slabs and stuff, if they still do implement those graded pods, remote grading pods, I think they still have a good chance at, if they can grade cards on the spot location for like $5 a card with those pods, I think they'll do, they'll be one of the top companies. They won't be maybe for the upper, tier cards, but people that have like modern cards and just want to get them graded, like more casual people that are just getting into grading,
Ease of
will just be
access.
submitting cards all day long to these remote grading pods for $5.
Yeah.
So you have like a lot of. I think they'll do well in that sense if that happens. Because people will be
Man,
like $5 to grade a card right here. I don't have to send anything in. Like, who cares if it breaks?
The price is
What
right.
Well-
there's like a hub or something that does it
Wait.
for you in a certain amount of time.
I mean,
Is
that's their
it
plan,
going to
right?
be cheap?
Yeah.
Is it going to be $5?
I don't know if it'll
Or-
be cheap, but
Or would it be
I
more?
could see it being cheap because there's way less overhead.
If
Yeah.
it
You don't have
becomes
to
the
send
next
in. You don't have to send
blockbuster,
back.
yeah, it probably could be cheap.
Gets capsulated there. There's nobody.
They don't even
doing
have
it
to have
for
a
you.
facility. They
more.
look at the LGS company. Maybe it's like popular enough to where wherever they put it, like the LGS has to pay a fee to let them have the machine in there
Or they're
because
just
it brings
Yeah.
customers
helping
in.
pay for power because it's using.
I don't know.
I could
Yeah.
I could see it costing more to grade through
It
it
could.
because it has to have a different AI because there's no staff because it's all the machine. Over there
could.
at their headquarters, a staff does the final review, right? So there
Yeah.
has to be a different way that you grade it in the pod to ensure that it's just as consistent as a human doing a final review, which means there has to be a different program that you run, which means you might charge more because it's more convenient. Because you don't wait. You're right here. You're gonna go to get
Yeah.
groceries, just drop these off. It's gonna cost you more, but you're gonna get it right away. It could be one of those things.
So what if the whole tag situation where the AI is 50-50 with AI taking the picture or whatever and then the human grading it from the picture? What if that was, let's say, a miscalculation in their AI technology? They were forced to end up having to have a human grade the card at the end of the day. What are the chances of that? And
Well,
also,
that's the thing.
which is not good.
It couldn't be that because the human is supposed to be the one who caught it, and originally the humans didn't catch these errors either. The human is just quality assurance, right? To make sure the machine did its job.
True, but I don't think there were humans in the beginning. I think it was just AI. Like I think Greenie's card
So
was
they lied.
AI.
So they
And then
lied, and
realized
therefore it's
how it was
fraud.
working. They needed a person to like supervise the whole grading process. You know,
Or it was the
that's
same people
my
that are at PSA and they just don't care. Like, oh, yeah, the machine did it. It's good. Next,
Yeah.
next.
straight
The
up.
quality assurance
PSA
guy.
is
Yeah.
now grading based on pictures. That's not confirmed, but I speculate so hard that they are at this point, and I think
Oh,
I think it's pretty
dude, the
certain.
last submission I got back, I'm like, these are some questionable tens. Like, send these cards knowing in, like, based on centering, they'll probably be nines. But I got, yeah, like 29 out of 31 cards were tens. I
Yeah, you
got
did
two nines, and there were
very
cards that
good.
I thought would be tens.
You did
Oh,
good.
that's
I'm like,
I saw a
Weirded
picture.
out by each card.
How long ago did you
what am I
send this
looking at?
out? The
It's thick on
centering.
top.
Oh, okay. Not too bad though, right? Am I just?
It's I don't know. I see it's pretty thin on the bottom. It's still
Over
You
gonna
know
here
be
to
what?
over there, or
Uh,
I should
top
send
left
my
to top or
CGC
bottom
10
right.
Chansey to PSA. Maybe I'll get that PSA 10 after all.
cross grade or
No,
crack it?
don't do it.
Cross
Just leave
grade.
it.
I'm gonna do cross grade. I'm not gonna crack it. Cross grade.
like I wouldn't risk it, bro.
Just leave it.
It's a card bar. You got the card party pedigree though.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Because they would,
Yeah, that's why it'd be a cross grade. I want to retain both grades from both companies on it.
knowing them, they'd just do a 9 out of spite or something. Something
Damn,
shitty.
imagine
I wouldn't
that would
doubt it.
suck. That would.
PSA
Um,
is.
Yeah. But yeah, like you still have a submission with tag, right, bro? Shug.
I have 30
How do you
cards there.
feel about your submission, dude? Like, how do you currently feel
30.
right now? Do you feel it was a good move? It was a bad move? Do you regret it?
They'll sell.
you're gonna go forward and do another one?
I don't think he regrets it. Do you regret
I
it?
don't. No, there was like a little part of me that's like, oh, that kind of sucks. But they're all cards that are like, I didn't send anything crazy. I don't think. I
All
think the
right.
most like the craziest card I sent was like that Mew from 151 that you wanted. You were saying,
Yeah.
and then a Gardevoir from Shiny Treasure EX. Everything else is like I've sent like 5 Celeridge IRs, you know,
Okay.
and then like 5 Rayquaza promos from like back in XY, I think.
Nice.
First off, AMPM Pokemon, no, I would never send the Chansey the tag.
See, I saw that. I
that's-
see that message.
I have an
Weird.
AI graded card.
Rick,
I don't know where it is though.
You don't want to send. Oh, you got it
AGS?
graded at CGC, right? Chance.
Who, me?
Yeah.
The Chansey got graded at CGC, and it has the pedigree in the back for Card Party because CGC was the only one that was doing the pedigree. And then it's a Gem Mint 10, but it's not the Pristine 10. But I'm always like,
Just
Hmm?
as it is. I would keep it as it is.
just keep it as it is.
Yeah, I
Isn't
would.
it? Isn't it pop one?
Well, it's the only one because of the pedigree, yeah. But
When? Yeah.
in total, there's there's 68 other Gem Mint 10 Chanseys. They just don't have that pedigree because this one was number 69.
Bro, but you realize that is a fantastic pop to own
No,
in a PSA 10 for a vintage card.
Whoa!
That is
I know. The
absolutely.
PSA has a lower pop though, I think. If I do get the PSA 10 on it. So I'm happy that it got the 10 through CGC. Like I'm extremely happy with it, you know?
Very
If it
nice.
would have got the
Let me see
Pristine,
this.
it would have had a pop 1 of 3, bro.
Shout out Slab Podcast. Professor Oak.
If it would have been the pristine, it would have been pop 1 of 3. So there's
Oh,
3
nice.
of the old pristines.
There's two. There's 2 Pristine 10 for that Chansey through CGC. Mine would have been the third one, 1 of 3.
Wow. Have you
Yeah.
have you checked if they're new pristine chances? That would be
I haven't
interesting.
checked if there's any new ones. I wouldn't regrade this through CGC to try to get the Pristine. I wouldn't. Yeah, like.
No, I wouldn't.
But that's why I say cross grading. Where if it gets a PSA 9, it would still keep that CGC 10 because it would be graded by both companies at the same time. You know.
Doug, I'm gonna try my best to get Legends EA. I probably will.
Isn't it coming out for the Switch too?
Uh,
Oh, I
Switch,
think I'm gonna wait for the Switch too.
the original Switch. I think it's gonna be for the
When does
Switch
it come
One
out?
this year.
Thought they said it late this year,
Yeah.
so probably
That's what I
just
thought.
the
Yeah, late,
usual
right?
November
Yeah.
Before the
schedule.
holiday.
Yeah, like a Black Friday deal type stuff.
When did they say Champions is coming out? FOMO, can Katie come paint your wall?
Let me check. But it's probably like mid this year.
That's funny.
I thought you were gonna do your little setup this time, FOMO.
Paso?
Aki, what?
Hey, you know, I'm
What?
so confused.
Oh, in my background?
Yeah,
Do you guys see Debt
or
or
your
Want?
library that you got.
Detna.
Yeah.
Dead
let's
no.
Okay.
see.
So-
Just give me. Let me see what this says. It says
Weird.
that it hasn't
can flip
been.
us.
Oh no, this is coming out in.
I'm backwards on YouTube.
I can flip us over. Think, reckon. Thought I could.
No, it's cool. It's just Katie mentioned that we're debt gnawing over here, and I was like, I had already kind of fixed it in my other live streams, and I didn't even notice that somehow got flipped again.
Justice
So
for
it's like,
Shugg.
yeah.
Metri, what's up?
There we
I
go.
didn't understand what he was saying at first, but I forgot. I popped in. Yeah, I
Metri,
popped in
what
halfway
up?
through.
Sorry.
I wasn't gonna be in this one. That's why the thumbnail probably doesn't have me in there.
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot.
No, because I said
I'll change
originally I
it.
wasn't gonna be able to make
Yeah.
it.
Oh, well.
We live right by the beach. That's why I was like, we ended up leaving, and then yeah, I just walked back, and then I hopped on really quick.
Did your parents make it in?
Yeah, they're here. They're we were they're
How
here
long
now.
they
Been here for a couple days.
staying? A couple week?
No, my dad's gonna stay for a month, and then my mom's gonna stay for 3 months probably.
Oh damn!
Nice.
Yeah,
Is your bathroom
they'll be
done?
here for a while. Bathroom's done.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So we just it's cool. They're getting to see the grandkids and stuff because last time they were here was 2 years ago. So
Oh dang, yeah. Get some time
yeah,
in.
so they haven't seen them in a while, so they're getting to see, and the kids are loving it too.
They probably love it too.
Yeah. But,
Have you
yeah,
guys
Katie's gonna
been?
paint FOMO's walls.
They want to
Yeah,
give him
I
a
told
free
him to get some
Pokemon.
posters or something. I'm gonna send him something.
I
Have you
see.
guys
I
been?
got a space like right over there that I could literally probably set
You
up
d-
right now.
you don't
I
have
like
to,
it.
Ramon. You're good.
I like the white
You
wall.
should just love all this empty like
Yeah.
white area. Like I could set
Yeah.
up like a TV, a movie. I could give you guys a movie in the background. We wouldn't even get demonetized.
Put a projector up.
Like there's so much potential. So little time.
Katie, what are you talking about? I don't know what happened.
Eventually.
Look at my square now.
Yeah. We're back again.
Let me see if
Fixed
I
it.
can connect this.
I'll flip this over.
Yeah.
See, I'm thinking about setting up over there. At least there's like a little shelf.
That's nice, dude.
Yeah.
Get your little
Got
yeah.
my Mewtwo Funko Pop, so you got the allure that I am a collector. But
Yeah,
Did
there you
y'all
go.
see
I think you
Professor
secretly
Mastri's
are.
message? Professor Mastry was asking, what are we discussing today? Which one of you fine gentlemen wants to give him a little recap on what we've been talking about today?
Well, give us a topic, Metri, so we don't have to go back to.
Yeah, this is a second recap.
Yeah. It's gonna be third time.
So, Pokemon has ripped out the turn-based system from the normal Pokemon games and has put it into their own little phone game slash Nintendo Switch game called Pokemon Champions that, according to ChatGPT, is releasing somewhere around 2026. And that should be an interesting move because it's going to change the whole mechanics of the game.
It's gonna
Plus
allow
the Legends games too.
all
Then
of us
Tag
to
Tag is a mess. They are making a lot of money, but they're not doing the slabs justice by making them brittle. So I don't know what's going to happen in the next few months, but it's going to get interesting for them. Plus a backlog. And what was the other thing?
Rob Burns.
Good old
Yeah,
Robbie boy.
Dude, these really quick. I sorry, I know you're going through the recap. These sell crazy. So I bought 20 of each of these, and I sent 3 of each sequential. I made them like sequential the way I submitted them, and out of that 30 card submission or 31 card submission I got back, those were the first things to sell, and I sold, I think the 3 sets for 110 each.
Damn.
So I was in like
candy.
17, well, like 1750 a card or something with grading, and I sold them each for like 30, 35 ish a card. But
Okay.
I got a bunch of chances I wanted to send in to Tag.
Yeah.
But
AMP's got a hot take.
let's hear it.
He didn't put it in the chat, but I think it was from AMP. I heard it a while ago. He said, it was like in a short or something. He said, people that are like fans of Pokemon, but not the TCG, the people that collect like the plushies or the merchandise or play the games, like the video games, are enjoying Pokemon more than TCG collectors or enjoy the hobby more. And I was like, it's a hot take, but I kind of like agree with it. I'm like, there's not all this
great comment.
Well, also
this drama in like the TC or like in the other parts of Pokemon that they have in this TCG like we do.
Yeah, drama. I would
That's
say
true.
probably not. Maybe. I mean, there's a couple.
Is there plushie drama somewhere?
There's Verlisify cannot stand Wolfie VCG or whatever.
Okay, like
there's a lot of
like
people
beef.
complaining about how Pokemon could be a lot better by now as far as like game quality goes. They're pretty pissed off about how ZA is like copy and
But
pasted.
I feel like it's like the way I took it was maybe more so that the normal collectors in the space or like the average collector in the space is not like
far less stressed
involved in that. Yeah, I think it's just more like casual. And they're like, I don't know, just he made it in I think it was him that made it in like a video that he did, and I was like, oh, that's like,
it's a good point.
I agree with it at least. Yeah, it's a good hot take.
Probably far less worried about what we, yeah, probably far less worry. I think open arena fighting for Pokemon games is gonna suck early on. I 100% guarantee it's going to be like a slow paced, long cooldown fight. Open arena Pokemon games.
Open area.
Open.
Open area.
Open
Oh.
area. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like the
Wait.
Yeah, like what they showed on the
real time
trailer.
battles. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
where
feel like it's an upgrade a little bit, personally.
you do.
It'll be interesting.
Over turn based, like there's at least more happening. You're not just looking at the back of a Pokemon.
I hate the dodge mechanics. I said it.
Yeah, I
hate
don't
know,
know how
it's
I
like-
feel about
I
it.
freaking hate them.
It's like sword fighting with an RPG
The
or something.
Pokemon-
You're bringing your
They're
Pokemon over.
magnetized to the trainer, so wherever you go, they follow. And I
So-
don't. It reminds me kind of a mystery dungeon back when the 3DS got that up, regurgitated that game.
They did say too, like there was something where like the attacks have different range, right?
Yeah.
From the Pokemon. So like you have to be a certain distance away when you're doing an attack, which is I think that's kind of cool. I like that more
makes
than
sense,
the
yeah.
dodge mechanic.
But at the end
So
of
if
the
it's
day,
like a physical
FOMO,
attack, you have to be closer, but
you don't have to use dodge. You can just go full head on attack, right?
just
Nonstop.
I prefer the mechanic either add a button system where the Pokemon dodges, kind of like in Assassin's Creed, or just let them dodge by themselves.
So you're
Let 'em
battling.
dodge by themselves. What's the problem with that? Why do you have to be? I'm kind of lazy when it comes to my games. I feel like the least amount of work is due credit for like my style of gaming, and I feel like that's too much work where I have to like get out of the way.
Well, you're doing your move.
Step that I don't feel is necessary, and I feel like it makes the game more tedious that way, and it feels more like
Ease metric.
chores rather than just a fun experience.
Later, Metro. I don't know. I feel like it gets you more involved a little bit. Like you're battling,
Sure.
you do your move, and then your trainer goes. You pull your trainer back to dodge the next person's move that's about to attack you. So you pull your Pokemon back real quick. So you're kind of you're you're entertain you're I don't know. It's kind of a dance
entangled.
while
More
you're
active.
battling. Yeah. I like it.
I
I don't know.
think I get what you're saying, and I think I'm with FOMO though, like especially for Pokemon. I'm just so used to how Pokemon's been over the last 20, 25 years, and it's like I could be in a battle, set it down, go do something, and then come
Yeah.
back, and I'm still waiting to take my turn. Like I don't know, I don't need to
Yeah.
But we want to change though, right?
finish that battle. I mean,
We've gotten change.
I have no problem with the way Pokemon is. Even the graphics, I really don't care. This is maybe a hot take. Like Pokemon,
It could be so
they can go
much
back
better.
to red and blue graphics, and maybe not red and blue. That was a little rough, but like Crystal or Ruby Emerald, like Ruby Emerald, Sapphire, those were like
Yeah.
perfect. Like they could make those games forever. I feel like those kind of graphics and the way it's laid out, and I'd be happy.
You know
Unless they
which
go
game
like
was-
drastically different, but these like little like steps and
Yeah,
like we'll do a little bit every 2 years and like change it. Like it's
not
I
enough.
don't know.
The
Yeah.
only game I wasn't able to finish was Let's Go Pikachu. And the reason for that was because the amount of time it took from you entering a battle to catch one of those things with the Pokeball, it took way too long.
That's all Kanto, right? Let's go Pikachu.
All Kanto, the game was fun, but also I realized like halfway through the game I forgot to do the Silphco. In the middle of the map, you have to go up the tower through Silphco in order to get the Pokeflute.
Pokeflute, yeah.
I forgot to do that. I just kept on going. So then all of a sudden, I finished the game. I'm at the gym leader, Giovanni, the very end. He's not there. I'm like, bro, where you at? He's still at Silphco waiting for me.
Damn.
It's a true story. I'm like, bro, I'm not
quit.
finishing this
Yep.
game.
Quit.
The Silphco is the worst one. 'Cause you go through all these teleporters and stuff. Just super annoying.
Katie says.
Have you guys all played Scarlet and Violet or no?
Yes.
I haven't played it.
I haven't played the newer games. I legit only played like the
Sword
old
and
Game
Shield.
Boy and like Game Boy Advance games.
Sword and Shield was a really good game, I think. But Scarlet and Violet, I cannot
They
play
should
that
have.
game. I've tried.
They should have put it
It's just-
together.
Is it too big?
It's too big and I don't know where I'm supposed to be going. Like
You're
Pokemon
you're
is
not
like you go forward and you'll end up in the right area. Like that's how I'm used to playing. And Sword and Shield did a really good job of like letting you have like that space in the middle where you can run around and do what you want, but there was still some like I feel like maybe I'm just dumb and the Scarlet and Violet's not clicking with me, but I feel like I have no idea where I'm going in that
Well,
game. I
thank
had
you.
to like this is the first time I had to Google how to like get
The
around in the
exact
game, like
same.
a Pokemon game.
The same thing
Yeah.
happened to me. I felt like whenever I pulled the map, it was giving me the opposite directions from where I was
Yeah.
supposed to be going. So like it would say up, I'd go up, but really I was going down.
Yeah,
So
I just didn't get it.
the moral of the story was that this game just wanted you to go out and do your thing
Yeah.
until you
Good.
kind of did a little loop-de-loop around the whole freaking map.
I
Then you
like
kind of
I like open world though. I don't know.
and then all of a sudden the Pokemon go from level 10 to level 50 in one portion of the map in the middle of nowhere. That's just a little patch of like grass after a bridge, and then all of a sudden all the Pokemon
Yeah.
are level 50 and I'm like level 45.
Dang.
Yeah.
If I
At least
close
I managed to like level up that way through fighting those Pokemon.
if I close my camera, will it end stream? Or will you guys still be here, huh? I gotta use the bathroom.
Oh, like
I
on
gotta pee.
Discord, yeah.
Yeah.
Just close yeah, you can
Yeah, you should be good.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're still
Yeah.
alive. Let me see. There's just a little bit of a lag, so let me see if it shut down your camera well.
Yeah, I think we're still alive.
Yeah, but is this camera still rolling?
No, it should be
No.
on live, but there's a delay, that's why. It'll go off
Yeah.
in just a sec. But yeah.
There we go. Yeah. All right, you're good. Yeah.
I don't know what else is there to talk about.
Damn, that was a bit of a delay, dude.
Yeah, it's like
Managed to
a
Seems like
20-second
all the
delay.
slabs. All the slabs except for One Piece. And
Oh yeah?
3 Pokemon cards, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
I've been lazy. I
TikTok.
haven't listed anything. I've been selling locally and hoping everything gets sold that way. Just
How's that
easier,
working
but
out?
it good. I mean, a lot of people, like I said, I sold a few sets of those things, and then I sold like some of the newer Terrestrial Festival cards that came back. And I have some guy buying like a Glaceon from that, and then one more of those starter sets I have. Um, so yeah, they're pretty quick. I probably could sell it faster on eBay though. Like I could probably get rid of everything
Really?
in like I'm guessing in like a week if I priced it right. But like I said, I've just been lazy. But I got another sub ready.
Ooh.
I need to get another sub ready. I actually sold a slab. I hadn't sold a slab in like 3 or 4 months. I've been on a dry streak for a long time. Then yesterday I sold 26 slabs and then I sold 1 slab on eBay. Finally.
Damn,
In a day?
So it
that's
worked out.
crazy.
26 in person?
20, well, it was a
Or
private
did
deal
you
with
okay.
my buddy, the TikToker, Level 2
Yeah,
Gaming,
All at once.
Yeah.
still nice.
Yeah.
all at once. Yeah. So that's
Yeah,
what
it's nice
we
to
were.
have somebody like that.
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
needs the inventory. So if you guys know or have or are interested in grading or doing anything of that sort, he's definitely looking to buy because he's growing at a rapid pace, clearly.
Just slabs
Just
or
I'm
or
waiting.
singles too?
Just slabs and just Pokemon. He's not really doing One Piece. So I'm not
Okay.
grading the One Piece, and I sell that on the side personally. He is
Yeah.
just about Pokemon, and I think he's about um, this other Weiss.
Oh, white shorts.
Have you guys been buying anything?
Whoa.
I haven't
It's tough.
at all.
These days are tough, bro.
Yeah.
No, I
I
look
bought
every so
some.
often, but a lot of stuff's gone up.
If
The only
I'm
thing I would buy right now is like a dollar card that's probably an IR that has potential to go up to like $4 and
see,
then sell it off, but I wouldn't grade it.
I'd sell a few slabs and buy Sword and Shield boxes. Personally,
So you'd park your money? You'd look to sell
just a
your
few.
slabs in order to park your money into sealed?
Mm-hmm. That's the yeah. I mean, some of
That's a
it,
good call.
some
I've
of
been
it,
thinking about that too.
but it wouldn't be this newest shit. It would be um, Astral, Brilliant, Silver, or I'd spend a little extra on. I don't know. I'd buy Temporal because I feel like it's still isn't
Oh,
it still
nice.
on Pokemon Center?
Well, it's about to get reprinted, no?
Is it?
Booster bundles, I think, or is it also booster
I
boxes?
just feel like if it's on Pokemon Center still, does it need to be reprinted? Like, is it the
Temporal
least?
Forces, I don't think was on the list for reprints. It's one of the only ones. It is the only one that's modern that has booster boxes up through Pokemon Center.
Like that's my logic. It's
Twilight
still on
Masquerade.
Pokemon Center, so it's got the least
Yeah,
It was Twilight Masquerade, my bad.
chance.
yeah. Astral Radiance is still up on the Pokemon Center if you buy those Build and Battle boxes or Build and Battle stadiums. Sword and Shield, $20 for those Astral Radiance Build and Battle boxes. 4 packs of Astral Radiance. You get that stamped promo with the pre-built deck. It's not a bad deal.
Astral Radiance is
Honestly.
great. It's a
You
good
should
set.
also look into the trainer toolkits. Those were profitable during, well, even during bear markets because the cards were very playable. They don't make those right now
It's too
because
much work
they
for 'em.
swapped it for the prismatic stamped EVs, evolutions.
Yeah.
When those come out, you should check those out because those are profitable as well. I'm more interested in your Inklings bundle.
Base.
Oh,
The mix,
the Lorcana one, right? Yeah. All right,
that
so
actually is pretty good return.
check that out. All right. So that Lorcana bundle comes with 2 starter decks. Nobody really cares too much for the starter decks, right? They do have a couple cards that might be worth a little something because they might be playable staples. I didn't really go through that whole deck to see what's worth what, but what's one has to remember, each starter deck has 1 booster pack inside of it that's sealed, right?
Yeah.
So 2 starter decks is 2 booster packs, and there's 4 loose booster packs in there, so you get a total of 6.
Okay.
And you get a promo card. When I looked at the package, they were at Costco. They were $40 each. I didn't know that they're going for 65 on TCG Player. I did quick math and I went, well, I'm paying about $6.50 per each pack of Lorcana. That's usually like $6.99, I think, at Target when they're hanging. So I'm like, okay,
expensive.
it's not bad. It's Into the Inklings, which is a bit older. That's kind of a plus. That's cool. You don't see that around anymore.
I think
You
that's
see the
the
newer
second
sets.
set, right?
Yeah,
Into
the
the
second
Inklings.
set,
Yep.
Into the Inklings. So I didn't even think about the promo. I said the promo might be worth $1 or $2. I fucking opened one up on stream, bro. That promo's worth 19 to $20 by itself.
Dang.
So I got these fuckers for 40. The promo is 19 to 20. It's half the damn cost.
Yeah.
Then you still have 2 sealed starter decks that you just keep. You don't even gotta rip them open for the packs, and you still have the 4 packs on top of it. So it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. You could literally open all these up, get rid of all the promos instantly, recuperate a good portion of your investment.
Yeah.
You could keep the starter deck sealed long term
Later, Katie.
to see if those appreciate, and you still have the loose packs that you could sell at the current rates, and you'd be making money off the whole thing. So you'd have something to save for later, something to offload right now that gets you your profit, and then, like I said, the promos is your safe return because that's what its value is. You're guaranteed so much for each of the promos out of each of these boxes. They had an unlimited amount of Costco with no limits. I got one of these just to open for the channel, and I'm like, I need $600 to $800 worth of these fuckers now.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Always.
gonna try to make that play. You
You
know,
always want more.
yeah.
Appreciate
And
you
then
stopping by, Katie.
iFOMO said, hmm?
Appreciate Katie stopping by. She said she was heading off to bed.
Oh yeah, it's a little later for her. Huh? It's 1:30 a.m. for her. All right, Katie. Thank you so much for stopping by.
It's midday for Eddie.
Yeah.
That's when Eddie eats lunch.
Yeah, 1:30.
Yeah, little night out. But yeah, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, those Mickey cards. I didn't even think about this earlier. iFOMO mentioned. What about grading those? If it's already an expensive promo, what's its PSA 10 counterpart going for?
Yeah.
Dude, if you can sell a hot Cheeto for 87,000, I'm sure you can make some money on this Mickey card.
If it's Mickey, it's
Yeah.
gonna sell.
Yeah. And I haven't looked
Somebody else
into
it's
what
like
it's worth.
Okay. Yeah, I think Mickey, yeah, like any popular characters, like in a market like this, because people are looking, like FOMO always says, he always says, like people that, once Pokemon gets too expensive, they go over to One Piece. And it's like not
Yeah.
just One Piece. There's a group of people that go to different TCGs or like trying to see what else they can get on,
Yeah.
Especially people like chasing that nostalgia hit. So
Yeah.
I think Mickey is a good one. Like people are always looking for Goku cards. Even people that aren't like big Dragon Ball fans are like Goku. Like
Yeah.
I did
Um,
check.
I've got a
Get the
Goku
name of the
card and
card.
a few
$70
Piccolo.
in a PSA 10.
70
Mickey.
bucks?
Yeah.
I
70
wonder.
bucks in a PSA.
I wonder if they got a reprint or something for. That's the second set. Doug said he saw a pallet of Locana at Costco today.
Also, that
So-
being said, One Piece is starting to get out of my price range. Let's put it that way.
Damn.
I've been looking at
Like,
Union
$60
Arena.
I mean, not
cards
nice, but
Some
getting
Demon
pumped to
Slayer.
90. Like Zoros are going to 90. Well, how do I put this? Everything has gone up, I would say 50%, except for more nuanced cards. The cards that everybody knows, the cards that people remember during the last boom, are starting to increase. And you start seeing the singles rise higher than the actual booster boxes, which is interesting. I remember we were talking in a different podcast. Emperors of the New World, or of the New Era, sorry, that's OP09. I think that was 120 when we were talking about it. It's 157 now. And now, as I'm looking through the singles, instead of there being the manga rares, which were the most expensive one, you're starting to see the Namis go up over the price of a booster box. The turn black, well, I don't think it's Blackbeard. I think it's Shanks. I'd have to look it up. A Luffy card, a few liters.
Yeah.
Things are starting to get interesting to the point where OP09 is enticing to open at 157
You think the
on the off chance that you pull a wanted poster Gear 5 Luffy,
you
for
think
example.
the you think the boxes are about to catch up though? You think they're gonna see that?
I'm looking at TCG Player. I looked at it earlier today in the morning, and it's just kind of stagnating prices at 157 up to 160, and then you just see it pop off to 169. So I think we're getting to that point where people haven't realized that this stuff is scarcer than they think, and once it becomes that scarce, people are going to start reacting to it.
Do you see what Soamia said? I think you would know about those.
Let me see.
So I just checked that Mickey card and it's gone down a little bit in price, fellas.
Are
It
you
looks
talking?
like it's no longer like a $19 to $20 card. Like right now, it's about a $16 to $17 card.
See, that must have been reprints or something.
There was a $2 price drop very recently. Legit, March 4th to March 6th, it was 1884 median. Then it went to 1681 March 7 to March 9. I feel there's probably a lot of people offloading them, probably at a little lower price to undercut everybody. Probably
Why?
doing what I just said. You break everything open, get a return back.
But why? There's always a reason.
Are you talking
I
about
need to
blue?
look at this card. What do you?
Doug, are you
It's
talking about
intent.
blue bottom boxes? It must not. I don't think that'd
What
be at
is
Target,
Series
right?
One Piece?
Do what?
I'm not sure what Series One Piece boxes are.
That's
Here,
that's the
it must
one
be.
with the different bottom,
I
I
don't.
think that
different
means
colored bottom.
but I think he's referring to the second wave that has the white bottom. That's the cheaper version. Which, if Target is offering that is surprising because I'd be
That's
very
booster
surprised
boxes though, right?
that it has those. If they're booster boxes, yeah,
Yeah.
but they could be booster boxes or they could be bundles.
Do they have?
Oh,
Likely, it's that Target doesn't sell booster boxes. They don't like selling
wait,
booster boxes to
no.
big
Yeah.
Walmart people. They like selling them to like LGS stores and stuff
Wait,
like
I know what he's talking about. So Target did get booster boxes. Target occasionally gets booster boxes stocked, and they have the SKUs for booster boxes through their website. They've had booster boxes for
that. Oh,
Pokemon products, and they've had booster boxes for other TCG products. There was a reprint, right, that
Like,
Bandai did,
okay.
and they re-released all of the older One Piece sets. Could he be talking about booster boxes from that reprint that may have made their way over to Target?
It was a
oh,
white
he's talking
collection
about the white
box.
collection box. See, they just came out with these new collection boxes that have these promos inside of them that are very, very neat. They're all made by the same artist. They have
Mhm.
this like very nice kimono Japanese vibe to them. Kind of remind me of
Oh,
the
Oh yeah, I
anniversary
know what you're talking about.
cards. Very, very nice.
How much are those going for now? Because I think they were like 25, and the Japanese versions were like 25 for the set. They were cheap.
I don't know. I have to look. I
They're
can't
probably
find
they got to
them.
be going for more, but it was like a set of 9 or something.
Let me look it
And
up because it
it was
should
like
be
$25.
So they had series 1 and 2.
One Piece boxes, not booster boxes.
You think
If I find it, I'll share my screen.
Yeah.
you think
It's so
getting
funny because I've come across a bunch of those Devil Fruit collection boxes that they've had before, and I'm always like, should I get these? But I never like get them, and then I'm told I should like always pick those up too.
I did
not
find
sure.
them.
I want to pick up stuff all the time outside of Pokemon, but then I'm like, do I want to really, or is it just because I can't buy Pokemon right now?
Right.
And
That's what I'm
should I
like.
just save the money for when there is a dip and buy?
That's how I feel about the Gundam box. That white Gundam box
Bro,
with the promos.
that's
They're going for like
was that
130.
Magic the Gathering one or who did the Gundam box?
Bandai.
Bandai did.
Yeah. It looks good.
Oh,
It's a little white. It's a little white box and it comes with a Gundam promo. It's so sick.
yeah.
You can get multiple promos.
Oh,
What
here
are we
they
looking at? Collection boxes.
So yeah, this is one of the boxes.
OPPR.
That's not what I was thinking.
I've never seen those.
I believe this is what we're talking about.
Is it?
I've never seen that.
Yeah,
Well, if they're 25 bucks and they're 33 with $9 shipping.
No, this is
Wow.
sorry, this is the Japanese version of what I thought you were talking about, like all the Luffy's crew, or the One Piece crew, in the kimonos.
Yeah, that is
It
from the
came here
first
in Japan. It came here in
anniversary.
like a folder kind of thing. But it was like, I think it was like
Oh,
25
really?
bucks. I can't. Yeah, and I didn't pick any of them up. Somebody was telling me I should pick them up, and
The Japanese like the files, don't they?
yeah, it was like a file or something.
he did say, yeah, that's it for the box, bro.
Sweet.
Okay.
Yeah, that I would definitely recommend that if you're into getting those promos. I'm not really into the packs. I think it had the manga Zoro booster box in it. I can't remember the name. Pack selection I think is a little bit weak, but the promos are definitely worth it. Once those run out like a year or two from now, I'm sure they're gonna be worth a little bit more.
King's Court.
Everyone's going nuts over those promos.
King's Court
That is very interesting.
When'd you get that?
or Battle of Chaos.
Ooh, Battle
Which
of Chaos.
Which one should we
always.
do first?
Battle of Chaos.
Yeah.
Battle of Chaos first.
Yeah.
Chaos
You can open it
Magician.
right now.
Magician Chase.
Magician. Yeah.
When did you?
King's Court will have the Pharaoh's rare, right, for the goddess cards.
Are those older boxes? What are
I
those?
don't remember.
Yeah. Are they the anniversaries?
Nope, these are not anniversary ones. These are before the anniversary ones.
Okay. I'm not sure what the sets, but I know Magician of Chaos. That's who's on the box, right? Is that what I'm looking at? Yeah. That's sick, dude. I wouldn't even want to crack that.
No, they're gonna be for the giveaways we're gonna do Wednesdays. So this one's gonna be this Wednesday coming up. This one's gonna be next Wednesday.
That's awesome.
So you fellas better
cool.
show up
Yeah.
to get a free pack when we run it Wednesday.
To look up the set.
Yeah, look up Battle Chaos. They are the first edition ones. Most of the shit from Yu-Gi-Oh's first edition, right? It's very rare that it's not really first
I think you
edition
want.
for a release date.
Yeah, I don't know
Hmm?
what. I don't know. I know some like. If it's not first edition, it's more rare. Or is that Pokemon? That might be Japanese Pokemon.
Japanese Pokemon. Yeah,
I don't
most
know.
when they did first, they don't do first edition anymore, but they used to print the shit out of first edition because they printed demand, and then they'd follow up with like a few more smaller reprints of Unlimited when they did that. Yeah, I think it was like more Diamond and Pearl era.
Yeah, but I picked these up at Frankincense, dude. I paid $60 per box. That's
Nice.
it for each of these booster boxes, and they're a little older.
That's good.
For a shit ton of packs. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's 24 per box, right? Yeah,
I used to
7
love
cards per
Yu-Gi-Oh.
pack,
I used
24
to
per
love
box.
playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and I
Yeah.
have no desire anymore even to collect the cards.
This
Maybe
I don't
the
one's
know
old.
why.
I
mine.
like the retro packs.
I would totally collect the cards. I was big into Yu-Gi-Oh when I was a kid, more than Pokemon.
I just don't
But
know
As
most
far
of
as
it.
cards, I think I think I was into Yu-Gi-Oh more for cards. But I have for some reason I have no desire now to collect them or open them. I don't know what it is.
is it possibly because they reprint every card all the time?
There's so
Yeah,
many
like same
different
arts.
kinds.
Yeah,
How
I
many
feel
Blue
like
Eyes White Dragon?
Yeah.
I mean, it is a massive turnoff when you have, let's say, a pot of greed that costs $300 versus one that literally costs 2 cents.
Do you
Yeah,
watch?
They look exactly the same.
Do you ever
but
watch
they
They
like?
do
look
that for the
the
players,
same.
right? They do it
Hmm?
for the players that build up the
Oh yeah,
decks. They do it for the
yeah, because you can
players.
play everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Except
Pretty much
if
everything
it's
you
on the
can play.
ban if it's on the
Oh,
ban list, you can't.
It's like Magic.
Yeah.
yeah.
dude, you're never gonna run out of cards at this point.
Well,
Never
they
gonna run.
want the game to be strong for Yu-Gi-Oh. It really is. Like they did it to where you don't make money off the
Yeah.
tournaments because they didn't want that aspect to ruin it. They wanted it to just be like, you love the game, you're here for the fun of it. You are gonna be a champion if you work your way up here, but not for money.
Yeah.
It's because you love it.
You don't
That's
get
You
anything.
get
You don't get a trophy or a card
no,
or like a
you do
you
promo.
don't.
you get shit,
I
but
don't
it's
think you
not
get
like
trophy cards or anything. You don't get money.
you
I
get
think there's a
yeah, as you
big.
start progressing through the tournaments, you get a bunch of packs and shit.
I think
Do you
there's a big
play Magic?
drama that they don't give enough for the tournaments. Like you
How do
don't
you
get
pay
paid
for your
out.
trip and
Yeah.
everything? Like you got to
That's
have some
why
money already. Then
one of the top Yu-Gi-Oh players was a girl and she quit because of that. I can't remember who.
It's a good
Because
point, Doug.
I've played in the Konami tournaments, and I remember getting like a bunch of
You might get
packs as you
prizes
win
maybe,
and you go up.
but not like a trophy card or
No, well, there wasn't anything like
maybe you
yeah.
get
I get what you mean.
oversized trophy cards. Because I know Greeny
oh
bought.
yeah, you do
Yeah.
right. Yeah, Greeny got those things are cool. And
Maybe
you
you
can
just
Yeah,
don't
okay
get
yeah. So you
paid
could
for it.
get something and sell something to
Yeah.
get some money back. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
There was a drama with it
yeah.
at one point though.
actually, so asked about Gundam. Have you guys been looking into the premium Bandai Gundam TCG,
I
Gundam Wing?
I keep getting offers because I've got a couple boxes in my card, so they keep sending me offers to buy them, but just broke.
Hmm.
All my
I
shit's
wouldn't touch the
spaced out.
figurines,
No,
to
not
be
no
honest,
the just
because they're saturated
the
to
promo
hell.
box,
Yeah.
the cards, the white one.
I think that beta thing
Yeah.
that they released, that was the
What?
first edition. I think that was a
Yeah.
very easy play.
Yeah.
Uh, maybe not that easy because it was hard to assess whether people were gonna like Gundam. But I think everyone is just ready for new TCG right now. So I think it was kind of a given that that was just gonna be successful. But if it's true that this year we're gonna get a lot of new TCGs coming around the corner, it'll be interesting to see how the market reacts to those. But I think Gundam had a pretty solid start, and I think people are liking it a lot more than I expected. I think it has potential. As long as Bandai keeps doing what they're doing to the standards that they were doing, that they're doing it with the One Piece, I would say. 'Cause they're crushing it with One Piece. With Digimon, I don't think they were doing so well.
I was gonna bring something up to the point that you just made. You just said everybody's pretty much looking for a new TCG set, right? Like something different,
Something
right?
fresh, you know?
Yeah. I
Ways to
think
spend our money.
it was mentioned in somebody's video recently. I honestly can't remember who it was. There's a bunch of videos that, sometimes we go through in a day. But I remember somebody mentioning that fact. And they mentioned that in turn, that always affects the market adversely for that new TCG set that they land on. Because One Piece has been affected by that. In the past, One Piece was the set that was scalped everywhere. You can't find it anywhere. People have to just get it from like people that were doing rip and ships and stuff because they had all the stock. They would buy out everything immediately, and that was how people made their money. But now it's kind of like affecting Pokemon harshly, right? So if everybody from Pokemon decides, well, we're gonna go to One Piece, all the people that affect Pokemon that make the money off of us just migrate over as well, and it
Did
just affects that different TCG set. prices everybody out from it, pisses off its core audience, and bounces to a different TCG set after. It could be Lorcana, because Lorcana in the very beginning was one of those heavily scalped things. The first release of Lorcana was one of those things that you never found anywhere, and it was super hard to get, and it was super expensive because people were reselling shit like priced out really high. Like even TCG stores were selling the packs at well above MSRP at first. People were even like, I can't get a distributor for these. It's super exclusive just to get Lorcana to be able to sell it. But I mean,
Yeah.
now Lorcana, you find that shit everywhere for the new release. No one cares about it. But will eventually that hype come back because nobody else can get shit else? And it's just Lorcana's turn that we hop to this week. So it's kind of like you just basically reminded me of all that. And that's something I
That's the
wanted to mention about
difficulty. That's the
what
difficulty though.
happens.
Like too, with people like complaining about Pokemon reprints, and if there's not enough Pokemon product, TCG's got to be careful to
Mhm.
print so much to the current demand because they know the ones that have been around forever, like or that know about it, like know that sometimes it's not organic demand and it's a hype bubble. And
Yeah.
when all of that hype does leave the hobby, then if you overprint to the demand of that time, you're gonna have all this extra product. Nothing's gonna be worth anything. And the second market is important. I know people
Hmm.
say people don't Pokemon doesn't care about the second market sometimes, but I think they do. Maybe not how they think they do, but the strength of the second market is going to be what carries Pokemon. Um,
Yeah.
it makes it stay around for a long time. I think it's a crucial piece, but yeah, I think it's a balancing act and a difficult one. So that's a good
I
point.
think as a whole, they do. It's just we have a lot of people that just care about the short term, their
Yeah,
own short term gains in the hobby.
yeah. Maybe the people complaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see the right now we're at prices that are obviously unsustainable. You guys remember when prices were normal, when we were kind of in the bottom
I
of
think
the
there's
bottom,
I
or
think
it's
there's a
like
lot of people
prices were
that
not
haven't seen a
dropping.
reprint yet. Like
Wait.
a lot of new people that haven't seen a reprint. There's a
Oh,
And
lot.
call.
They've
and
Yeah.
That's
besides
true.
that, you said we're at prices that are unsustainable. I beckon you to go back to my rant where I say it's the gamblers that come in with the never ending pockets. We think the prices are unsustainable, but yet they
Yeah,
track
if
up and up. The trending graph shows that people are still doing it. The rip and shippers are still getting it at inflated prices from stores that got it from an inflated price from their current
yeah,
distributor. And they're still making a little bit off the top.
if there's
So
if there's
Yeah,
still
but there's
I
money to
think
always
be
gonna be
made,
something
it's not gonna slow.
that they can gamble their money on. Right now, it's just a hot thing to gamble on is Pokemon. Maybe next week it'll be like robots or something. But
yeah,
that what has been the normal trend of the cycles that are the bears and bulls cycles is that these people they come in for the quick money, they either succeed or they don't. I'm not sure, but they never last.
I think
Even the
I just
people who say that they last longer than let's say people are very adamant about staying long term in the hobby. Even these people get extremely frustrated in bear markets. It's extremely frustrating. It's hard to make money and it's hard to actually be profitable in these situations, especially if this is your full time job.
mhm.
So I can
Yeah.
understand burnout is a real freaking thing. Um, where was I going?
sorry about that.
Lost my train of thought. My bad.
It's gonna
Where were
take
we
No,
like
at?
that's a good point though.
what's it gonna
I
take?
had
Like
to be on there.
two
Sorry.
two really bad sets in a row to slow the shit down. Because if the margins are still there, if all this shit is still here to make this money, it's not gonna go away
See,
unless
I mean,
I
there's not enough
that's the
supply
point.
right now, right?
right.
So
So it's
I
just
know.
keeping it
people
up.
can't flip stuff right now. So if there's people that have money but can't spend it, that's like what FOMO always says is they're gonna move into One Piece or to go flip over there, and that's gonna
Oh
make the price
man.
go up over there. So and then when One Piece gets, or they'll go to Lorcana because there's opportunity there.
Right, but
Because these
what's
people that are coming in during these bubbles, they have the money to keep turning over, turning over, turning over. But like right now, there's no supply or maybe on certain sets to do that with. So then they go to somewhere else, and then
But in the
I
secondary
don't know.
market, there seems to be a never-ending supply. When all the supply dries up on TCG Player, the very next day you have new listings at a new bottom floor, which is way higher above the other one. This is why I think prices are sustainable. Does everybody remember Evolving Skies at 300-400 bucks?
Yeah,
Yes or no? all right, when it was $300-400, I didn't fucking think it was worth it to get. I didn't buy that shit at $300-400. How much is that shit now?
And I
It's
remember right
over
at
15, over
15,
Yeah, like
1400.
over
17.
15. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not done yet. If Evolving Skies can do that, right? Another set that's not hyped as Evolving Skies that's selling at 200-300. When that one goes down the road and Evolving Skies doubles or triples in price, will someone not be more willing to pay a little higher price for those not as hyped sets because they can't get the Evolving Skies one and they thought they had enough money for it, but they're like, oh, this shit just went up a little bit more. These are still from the same era. As time progresses and stuff does, how you said, remain as scarce as it is, it sets a new floor for those, and those continue to trek up and up. Why? Well, at least it's not 1500 like Evolving Skies. It's okay if it's $800 for Brilliant Stars. It's not 1500 like Evolving Skies. You see that reasoning for those people that are willing to spend well over market, well over MSRP because they're thinking, I'm not going to be able to get it tomorrow because there's only 10, 12 left today.
It's just
Yeah. I've
so-
done that before.
Mm.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, so yeah, all right, cool, perfect.
Yeah.
It just all comes down to the size of the reprint, right? Like
Yeah,
that's what
Yeah.
it's gonna
but
No, I,
take.
I
even
still FOMO over things. Like the
all
new
right,
set's not there, and I go to the store, and then they have something else, and I'm like, well, this is
Yeah,
cheap. I'll buy, and it's available. I'll buy this.
Yu-Gi-Oh,
yeah,
retro packs,
and you
Yeah.
didn't want it,
Union
and it
Arena.
wasn't on your radar, and it
Yeah,
wasn't
I
on
didn't
your
go in there
list.
for that, but I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
it's good enough.
I was
yeah,
gonna spend this money anyways, so
yeah.
yeah.
All right, and then sometimes we were like, man, I never thought about this shit because I thought it was overpriced, but now you have it and you're okay with it, and it's a coping that
Yeah.
we have. You get me?
Yeah.
But
There's two
When you say
things.
sustainable, though, how long do you mean sustainable? Because
all
I feel
right.
like Terrestrial Festival is what 115 a box right now. It's not going to be 115 a box forever.
Wait,
MSRP
wait.
is
You don't think
40
Terrestrial
for
Festival is
Terra
going to be
Fest,
115 a box forever? 151 was 200 a box for a good while.
but it was
Yeah,
also
151 set was
but it's
like
200.
not
50.
200 right now. It's like
It's
100. It
not
just
right
got back
now.
to
It's
like
150
140
right now. But
or
Terrestrial
150.
Festival with time, I think can hit those 151 prices. And I think that could be its norm because it's a set that a lot of people could say the hype is comparable to. I'm not saying the set is comparable or the set is equal, but the hype behind the set, the hype behind its release, the hype behind acquiring the cards, you could say
Yeah,
it's
it'll go up
similar.
eventually, probably
Yeah, it'll.
in the future. But
Yeah,
I feel like there will be a dip though. Like there'll be a time where people buy at the wrong time because they're thinking they
yeah.
can't. It'll go up forever. And
But
it's
there
like, well,
have
maybe
been
it's too
dips.
high right now. Maybe it's people are overvaluing it, and you could wait
Yeah.
till the reprint hits.
That's the point.
Japanese
See,
definitely.
and everything is
Yeah,
skewed because we have new people in the hobby that are looking at these prices and they think this is normal.
They haven't seen
Maybe.
So
like
we're gonna hit
just
the
thinking
reprint
about
talk, right?
Rob. Rob
We're gonna hit
was
the
first
reprint talk. This
video
was our
was
last
Paldean
point.
Fates.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I do have two things I wanted to comment before we go on that last topic. I
Okay.
think the
Because
whole remember I said that people want a fresh start or something new. I think that was the whole idea with tag. People were very hopeful with it
mhm.
and just got skewed because of this whole slab issue. I don't think it's necessarily that big a deal, but we'll have to wait and find out. Then the second thing I wanted to point out is between the Pokemon rolling over their hype over to One Piece. That literally happened during the first boom that One Piece ever had. And it was a combination of the live action coming out. It was a combination of the TCG being super popular, and it had partially to do with Pokemon having a market correction. When people
okay.
saw that market correction, they ran for the hills. Bro, Pokemon was a ghost town for those 2 weeks that the market corrected. It was a ghost town, and everybody was spending ridiculous amounts of money on One Piece. And I could pull out Z and G Emporium sales because I was selling with him at the time. There were people paying the same for a PSA 10 as they would for a PSA 8.
Damn.
And it only lasted for 2 weeks.
They opened the floodgates.
Before that, there was a bear market where I was begging people to buy my PSA 10 Luffy for $50. And then I said, you know what, screw it. I don't want to sell it cheaper. I'm going to wait. Then the boom happened. I sold it through Z&G Emporium for $120 in auction.
Damn.
This is the level of craziness that happened in just a matter of one day to another. And then just like that, as quickly as it came, as quickly it went away.
I get you, but I got one thing to ask. Nowadays, when it comes to like people that invest in Pokemon, people that do make money off of it, how many of them do you see bring up One Piece as well? It's not just Pokemon. A bunch of rip and shippers. I got One Piece and Pokemon, fam.
You know why? Because I
Because I
feel like
feel
more people were trying to hoard that TCG to themselves. Because that was back then, that was an
It was going
easy, it
crazy.
still is.
Yeah.
It's an easy way to make money, and it's just showing the same ebbs and flows that Pokemon does. In fact,
yeah.
it's doing it in a more healthier way than any other TCG I've seen besides Pokemon. So it's heading in a good direction.
Which is
It's
crazy
just
because it's Bandai. That's a crazy thing.
but
Yeah.
Bandai is treating it like
Yeah.
their baby, like it was their first time doing Yu-Gi-Oh! Basically, except
Yeah.
that they're not reprinting the cards exactly the same as the old version. So they're doing a really good job.
Well, have they
Um,
reprinted crazy since the first time they did that? Didn't they go back and reprint every single set? Have they
yes.
done
But they
anything
really
since?
underprinted the first. They
Yeah.
underprinted the first when they
Okay.
released the cards.
Okay, this is the story of One Piece. One Piece was never popular. Only in Japan. It's super popular in Japan.
I always
Over
thought
on
it
the
was gonna
west side,
die, except for the true
yeah,
fans.
they struggled on the west side. In fact, they were actually going to cancel it in the United States. So One Piece was never really looked at in that way here in the
I
United
thought it was
States.
gonna die.
So when they introduced the TCG, I didn't think this was going to work out very well at all, actually. But I thought this is cool. I want to collect this because there's Pokemon that can make you money, and then there's One Piece that I can collect because I appreciate the anime. Little did I know this TCG was super fun to play, and people were just getting into it and getting into it, and they started watching the manga and the anime, and then the live action came out, and people
Mhm.
just went gaga for it. So what happened was in the beginning, nobody wanted it, so the first few sets released, and they short printed these
Yeah.
sets.
Right.
And it wasn't up until OP05, which is the big set, the hype set that everyone was talking about. It was the Evolving Skies, basically.
Had the
And everybody,
Yeah.
manga rears.
that was coming out at the same time as the live action and at the same time as the market correction in Pokemon. So
Hmm.
all this put together created this boom that came out of nowhere. The problem was One Piece was short printed, remember?
Yeah.
So they just ran out immediately out of supply. So that's when One Piece kind of like did everything really, really well. They put out a little news thing saying, like, we understand you guys want product. We're in the middle of some craziness right now. We cannot deliver. So
That's
what are we
crazy
going to
to
do?
say. Yeah.
We're going to turn the printers on to full capacity, and you guys are going to have to give us like 4 to 5 months. 4 to 5 months. And they
Okay.
reprinted everything in those 4 to 5 months. And for 4 to 5 months, everybody knew that reprints were coming. But that's when the speculation started happening, and people are like, they're taking too long. Nah, they're
Yeah.
not going to reprint it. And then people started getting convinced that they weren't going to reprint this stuff. And then boom, they reprinted, everything tanked. Now, what are they doing to solve that situation? They're creating sets that are reprints of playable cards, but with different arts.
Okay.
Genius. So now,
Yeah,
if
Yeah.
you're
Okay.
So
a
Yeah.
collector, you can get these different arts. And if you're a player, you can get these cards from various different
Yeah.
sets.
Same
You don't have
moves,
to
different
stick with one
cards.
set
Right.
that they were inflated because it
that's
was
genius. Yeah, that
Yeah.
is genius. Does any
that's
now.
what
other
Yu-Gi-Oh
TCG
did,
do
right?
that?
That's what
Yeah,
Yu-Gi-Oh did, since they
it's
have so
kind of
many
a
copies.
Pokemon kind of doesn't.
it's kind of a marriage between Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, where Pokemon is the side where they decided to do all these different artworks, and Yu-Gi-Oh is the one who decided to reprint
The
every
same
playable card.
cards. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Pokemon
it's
just has
just
different
more art.
versions of those cards and
Yeah.
rarities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So little by little, I think Bandai is not only doing it in the right way, but also they had an initial boom that gave them a taste of what a
Mm.
Pokemon.
Is
looks
there
like.
is
I don't think they ever want to go through that again. So I think next time that they at least should have some preventive measures so that it doesn't take 4 months. Because it affected the market quite a bit. And it affected a lot of One Piece fans.
are
A
One
lot, I
Piece
would say.
are One Piece
Nobody could get
cards
it.
typical Bandai cards where they're a little thicker?
Yes,
They're
Yeah,
thick.
yeah. Okay.
they are thicker.
I've
Those
never
things,
opened or
yes,
held one.
and like,
No,
mwah.
Yeah,
they're great quality. Yeah, they're like the best quality.
And it's hard to get whitening on those cards. Once you get
kind of
whitening or a
maybe
scratch on those cards, you will never get it out.
like a this
Yeah.
thickness, something like that, like
Y- Yeah, I
a little
would say
bit.
so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're
That's
hard.
like
Like hard cards, it's hard to bend that. You crease that thing, it's game over.
it's kind
So
of a
PSA 2.
Shadowverse has something like that with the leader cards.
I wonder if they'll
Are you
always be
still?
that well made. Like if they
You were
blow
getting
up.
Shadowverse cards, right? Wasn't there a specific card you were getting from Shadowverse?
I opened a box and then I bought a bunch of like the first anniversary fairy cards with the stamps.
That one.
That was most
That
of the
one. Yeah.
speculation I did. I bought it. That was kind of a buyout, but there wasn't.
Oh, okay.
There was none on eBay when I just 3 of them on there, and I bought all 3 of them. So I don't know what happened since
Are
then.
they hard to find?
I don't know. Probably not. I don't think they're worth anything, but
Only to NF.
3 card buyout. Yeah. Well, no, that's Otherverse. I'm Shadowverse.
Oh, it's Otherverse. Okay, never
even
mind.
deeper.
All right, we got another topic or
Oh well,
what are we
There
doing?
was one last topic, right?
the reprint talk was what we were gonna talk about. That was
Oh,
supposedly that's the one, that's the big one you wanted to handle. Remember iFOMO? The reprint talk. It was dividing the whole community into 2 different camps on it.
Oh yeah.
Now you know what I'm talking about.
it's so
Yeah.
It's so
it's happened
goofy.
at the beginning of the week, and it feels like it's been like a month already.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
There
So
was
much shit.
so
We took a
much
week off
shit.
and so much shit happened.
It feels
So
like it
much.
was forever
Hey,
ago.
yeah, so
That's funny.
Alex said that there wasn't gonna be any They Evolve reprints to the lengths that even called somebody out for that, I think. And then
Anon. Yeah.
Anon
yeah,
TCG.
and TCG, and then Anon. I mean, I don't think much needs to be said about that. I think everybody knows what happened. Everybody makes mistakes. We're not
Mhm.
all perfect. We're just guessing in this thing. So,
Mhm.
I think that's the most important thing is to realize that nobody really knows, and
exactly.
we can speculate as much as we want, and it's like, I mean, a lot of those sets were new, so in my mind, it's like, yeah, they're getting reprinted. When they get reprinted, how much? It's like, who knows? Like outside of that, it's like you
It's
could speculate if you want, but
it's
Pokemon's gonna
coming.
do something unexpected sometimes, or just we never know, and it's like good to remind yourself of that because people bet
Right.
on these things too much, I think, or put too much
Yeah.
weight
Yeah.
on what somebody says and what somebody speculates is gonna happen.
Absolutely.
Well, it is a trading card game. There is a game that is based off those trading cards. The way I see it, if the set letter in that card set is in rotation, it's eligible for a reprint.
It's
Why?
getting
They might
reprinted.
need it
Yeah.
for the players to use in the game. It's still in rotation. It's still tournament legal. It makes sense.
That's why I think
The
we're
minute,
I think we're
the minute
underestimating
it,
the shit. Go ahead.
you,
I'm
do
just saying I think we're
it.
underestimating the amount of people that got in Scarlet and Violet only and haven't experienced anything other than just what we're currently experiencing. Only
That's
up is
true.
what they've seen.
To your point too, yeah, that's a good. Yeah, they've only experienced the euphoric, yeah, kind
Yeah.
of like high that we've had, but um, to your point of like printing what's inside the playable cards too. Even
Yeah.
a couple years ago in Japan, they did something that people didn't think they would do, and they printed some cards that were technically playable. They were Sword and Shield sets. Maybe it was a year ago,
Mhm.
and it's like they were about to be out of rotation here though, like in 3 months, and they still printed those cards. It was like Lost Origin, Incandescent Arcana, and then
Silver
the
Tempest.
Paradigm Trigger. And people are like, "Whoa!" So this is
Yeah.
like they didn't print for the players, obviously, because 3 months. It's like, okay, these cards are out of rotation 3 months. It's like people couldn't get their hands on those cards like collectors,
There's a
and
little
people are
salt on
complaining
that
enough to where
Giratina.
they reprinted stuff that's like on that borderline.
For those did they release the cards 3 months before they were set to expire? Because if they printed it 3 months before it was set to expire, they would never get to the hands of the player before it
I think
expires.
they released them, but with like, if I can't remember exact timeline, I'm
You get
terrible with
me?
memory, but I'm
It
pretty
was
sure it
in.
was like they
Yeah.
were released to you were able to buy them like 3 months until like the
Okay.
cards went out of play, and people were
So
like,
that
"Whoa,
means,
that's kind of weird."
It was during
yeah.
Scarlet and Violet, right?
Yeah, during Scarlet
Yeah.
and Violet, and they reprinted a bunch of Scarlet and Violet. It's when we were having to do lotteries and we couldn't get anything. They reprinted a bunch of Scarlet and Violet stuff because people couldn't even get that. But then they even went back further and got some of that Sword and Shield product out to people. And people were like, "Whoa!" And they got eaten up quick though.
Yeah. I
There
remember
wasn't a
that.
lot of it.
It was
I mean, I
that's
got
crazy
what
though.
6 boxes of Paradigm Trigger and then like 3 of Incandescent Arcana. I couldn't get any Lost Origin or Lost Abyss.
That was
That
gonna
was
get eaten up
that was I didn't see
immediately.
anything. Yeah, I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
Just goes to
Well,
show
Where is
though.
it?
that also, that's a part of that whole thing too. Um, when those reprints hit, you know how you said there's all these people that have not seen a reprint; they've just seen everything go up and up. With that being said, how many people are entering that haven't been able to get their hands on product? Plus, how many people are here that have been around who haven't gotten their hands on product? And on top of that, how many investors is there that are still like, I still got more money. I can make a little bit more money, who are going to try to go after that product? I have always said, even if it's a reprint, when it's a reprint and it hits, it will never really solve the issue because it's a reprint. The hype is already there. This is to come and combat that. You're trying to remedy the situation. You're already fighting from behind. You're already kind of losing at that point. You need more packs to feed into what is already going on for the FOMO, for that set, for that demand. But at the same time, once you start feeding those packs in, because you're like, I just reprinted,
Mhm.
you got to satisfy the demand of all the people that didn't have that satisfaction met first, all the people without an insatiable satisfaction, which would be those people that, well, I invested 5,000, but I still got another 5,000 to go. You get me? It's still going to be just as rough unless they do a release in some other way. I know a lot of people aren't a fan of the lottery system, but I
I
do
like it.
think that the lottery system is kind of a fair way. It kind of does let everybody get their name in the hat,
And
you know?
it kind of just all comes back to how big will the reprint be, right? It's and I think a lot of people are gonna see this as like last chance buy now. So it's not if it dips, it's not gonna last long unless we
Well,
get
too,
something
well,
so
yeah, like
massive that
people speculate harder or like are more confident in it too, because like you said, the demand's already there. People are already
Yeah.
wanting it, but they can't get it. And so when a reprint comes, like people are like, "Oh, people
yeah,
really like this set. I'm gonna go buy more of it."
buy in now while
Hmm.
you can.
Um,
And that's true. At that point, they're gonna be like, now there's no reprint. Why? Because we're in it. They're gonna be like, it was already so tough. We already got the reprint. There is always those people. No, there's not gonna be another reprint, so you have to buy everything that's
Dude,
out right now,
Yeah.
right?
straight up, they just somehow
Yeah.
convince themselves that they're that there's no reprints,
You
that
know
nothing's
why though?
coming.
You know
Well,
why?
it's
Because
been
they're always right at the end of the story. At the end of the story, when they get to the last rotation and the last print, boy, are they right.
I think
And they
there's
still have all that shit they bought before, and they're still at the same entry point more than likely. And now they have all this extra stock that they just been sitting on that they could offload because now it's really the last reprint. It's really just a waiting game, honestly.
there's
If they didn't sell.
If they
Some
didn't sell exactly.
people who don't understand the basic principles of this stuff have a bad habit of buying things when they go up and then selling things when they go down. So the worst possible combination you can do is buy something at the all-time high and sell it at the all-time low.
Hmm.
But of course, once you bought it at the high, thought you were going to make millions of dollars because everybody thinks that for some reason.
I don't get
And then it
that.
drops 50% and you're just like, "Oh my God, I have to wait
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
this to go back up 50% just to break even."
But
Haven't
that's
It's
they
not this
so
situation.
mentally
This
bruising to your
situation,
ego, you know?
reprint, you get it directly from Pokemon, right? You're not getting it at market. It's a reprint. It's new stock that you can get at MSRP.
well
Everyone's
that's
gonna fight for the new stock at MSRP because
not
nobody
through
wants to pay market.
not through
They don't even
distributors. I mean
some people
they're
play
always
market.
fighting through
they
Pokemon
need to
Center,
limit
but
it one per box. and I keep freaking saying this, and I need to emphasize this. They need to limit it one per box because too many people want this stuff, and they need to appease some freaking form of people. Just
But if they limit it one per box, right? Then all those investor type that do want multiple stand to leave and go to a different TCG, pump their money to that. Pokemon loses everything. Now they lost all this money influx that was here from that crowd, and it went to their competitor. That's what they stand to lose at the same time.
I think they just use other
bro,
accounts.
I say let them go to One Piece for a few months until the freaking price corrects itself, and then they can come right back up. Pokemon is
But
in no
One Piece won't
position
be
to,
happy.
huh?
One Piece players won't be happy. Why would we want to wish that on that crowd?
Do
It
it
doesn't
prince
solve the problem.
round.
We'd throw the problem at somebody else, and we expect it not to come
What are we
back
talking
or
about
not
here?
to come back worse.
It's you think distributors are gonna let
Fine,
that
do it to
reprint go
me.
for? They're not gonna drop that price, especially
Well,
it's gonna be more than what the first round. I think
mm-mm.
personally,
So this is what I
unless
say
it's
about the
so
re.
massive that they can't help it.
They say
All
that the
right,
first wave has
Massive,
to be at whatever the wholesale price is, but the second wave doesn't necessarily have to be at wholesale price.
right?
yeah.
I
That's
heard
what.
that.
So I'm thinking it's either gonna have to be so huge that it's not gonna matter, or demand's just gonna stay the same, and you're still able to make a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
It's not gonna go away until we get enough product, or until we get shitty enough sets. It's gonna make people
And the sets are
not
going to be
want it.
more bangers. There's going to be better sets, right? There's going to be more hyped shit, right?
Yeah, that's
Until the beginning of next year
yeah.
or whenever the new gen
Yeah.
starts.
So if we have two
Yeah, the new gen.
years, let's say, of momentum, if we have like almost 2 years of momentum, do you think it takes more to derail that train at that point? And it takes more than just one or two bad sets? Because you have everybody that's like, well, it's been good for now 6, 7, 8, 9 sets. And they sink in their
I think
talents
it's
and
gonna
they
be
want to.
like last time. I think it's
I
just gonna be
think
exact repeat of last time, where all the hype is just it'll go in an instant, and we'll be stuck with a lot
Space.
of leftover stuff, and then people will buy it up. The big dogs will buy it up. People like Rudy that don't care, and will know people. The market goes in cycles
And
always,
us.
and it'll happen again. And he has the extra capital to just throw at it. Um, but yeah, I think it's just gonna happen in cycles like it always does. And once it does happen, we're all gonna be like, "Damn, we lost a lot of money." I mean, not all, but yeah, like there's gonna be a lot of us that will be that, especially like the new people that haven't been through it
hmm
before and don't
Thankfully,
like FOMO was saying, like don't understand how these things work.
go dog, go dog, go.
um
Thankfully, I've paid only Pokemon Center prices this whole time. Surging, Prismatic.
Yeah,
I haven't bought market price, so
exactly. But that means for restock, you're going to be one of the people that needs to get it from there because that is going to give you that MSRP. It's that restock through them, right?
see, I'm not looking. I'm looking Sword and Shield right now.
Back.
I'm looking at
Yeah.
something different. Like I'll wait. I feel like there's time for that. Like we got time. These are all brand new sets. The reprints are just happening. We got time. Everybody, calm down.
One thing would like to point out is people were hating on Journey Together to the point where like there was so much negativity in this market before everyone forgot about it and moved on to the next topic. Um, that didn't stop anything. I mean, look at the booster boxes for Journey Together right now. I think they're like $200
Mhm.
or
200
over.
bucks
Really?
without the box topper, bro. 200 without the box
That's gonna
topper.
be a. There's gonna be a stamped box topper, I believe, right?
Well,
Damn,
the
200
English one
bucks.
has a box topper, and the box topper is just one card from the set, but it's a stamped
They're
card
all
from the set.
they're all stamped.
So, so before, you know how we had the Pokemon Center promo? It's
Yeah.
the same promo as this ETB, but it has a stamp. This is the same card, ends Reshiram from the set, but it has a stamp with the set name on it.
Is that gonna be for all the boxes though, or just
Well, that's what nobody knows. Nobody
yeah?
knows if Wave One boxes are the only ones with the box topper,
Mm-hmm.
and if Wave Two doesn't have it, because in the SKU it says enhanced booster box,
Right.
but
What's the
somebody
box
saw
topper?
that there
Ends
was one that
Reshiram.
said enhanced, and there was another line that didn't say enhanced. So it made I think Danny Phantom might have talked about it. I might be wrong though, but it made the person in the video think there is going to be two different booster boxes if there is not already. Like that might have been like a whoops.
Yeah.
This is down the road. The reprint is going to be the
Well, I think at
non-enhanced.
first they weren't sure if they're all gonna get promos, but now it's developed into, well, they're all gonna get promos, but which ones are gonna get
Yeah.
stamped? Yeah. So
That's
Well,
well.
no,
So the
all the
Japanese
promos
side, it
are
might
going to
be.
be stamped. All the promos are going to be stamped because the promo is a regular card from the set that's stamped. So the
so no
promo
no
doesn't have different
Pokemon
artwork.
Center. It's just set stamp.
Set stamp, no
Okay.
Pokemon
Okay.
Center.
Uh,
But we don't know if that promo is only in the first wave of booster boxes. And then in the second wave, do you still get that stamped promo, or you get no promo and just the booster box?
Second wave. God, we're a long time from there,
Because
aren't we?
enhanced booster box versus booster box.
Yeah.
The enhanced means you get that box topper stamped promo.
I hope they
Hmm.
continue to do that. That's really cool. Box
It makes
toppers.
it feel like a Pokemon Center exclusive ETB, but for your booster box, honestly, it
Yeah,
just
or
doesn't
just
say
that,
Pokemon
or
Center.
to keep one sealed years later and you see your box topper. That's yeah.
Yeah.
So, Journey Together. Does that remind you? Well, to me, Journey Together, the negativity I feel from that set, I feel like Silver Tempest had a similar vibe
All right.
when it came to that, especially the Lugia being downplayed as much as it did for a long time. Okay, the point I'm trying to make is those two sets should have lowered the demand, should have in some way, shape, or form corrected the market
Why
because they were extremely downplayed sets that allegedly were going to crash the entire market.
you got
I've been
in?
hearing crash the market for the longest time. It freaking drives me nuts. Um,
Hmm.
didn't happen though
You got in?
until
You got
the beginning
Iono.
of the year, Scarlet and Violet. And after that, they had reprinted Crown Zenith to the freaking ground. And that's when everything started subsiding. I don't think because of that, I think we're looking at this whole hype thing at least until next year. And then I think
Beyond.
it's finally going to subside once the new era starts. But just looking at Sword and Shield, well, unless you look at battle styles and Rebel Clash, if you look at the earlier sets, which hasn't happened because we haven't had really bad early Scarlet and Violet sets, those did have a very bipolar shift in the market, especially when reprints happened,
It was just
especially when Star City happened and prices were going up for no reason on sets that were horrible.
there was just such a
Um,
massive change within that era.
that's when things start
Yeah.
getting complicated because if you're new and you're not used to looking at those things, they can skew your brain
Yeah.
and completely make you think something is going up when it's actually going down.
And they might be expensive, but how many people are gonna want those?
Yeah, but that being said, it's just so much going on. These sets are so good. The only thing that could drive this market out of whack would be just
I would
no
I would
supply.
say Journey Together wouldn't have been set to dampen the hype just because it's got in,
Yeah.
it's got Iono, it's got who else?
So what
You
you
Oh
hear?
girl.
But how
What
many
why
of
do
you
those
people
hear?
talk
people
so
that
much crap about it?
What did they
Well,
say?
well,
What
we're
was
the
bad?
we're the only ones that have Gen 1, right? Everybody else behind us is all these other generations with all those trainers.
All the English people who are not, waifu fans, they hated Journey
All right.
Together. You
Yeah, but
know who
that's Gen 1
likes?
people.
Well, I like Journey Together.
You're discounting the rest of the hobby, right?
What you mean?
I think the rest of the hobby doesn't really care about it. I could be
I
wrong,
don't
but
That's the
in
point.
in is
Nobody
really
liked trainers
popular.
to begin with until now.
Do
but
what?
with the majority of people that are in right now, the people that are driving the hype, how many of those people were
Yeah,
here when N was in the
that's true.
games?
That's true.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know.
good point.
Yeah.
I think
I just
some
don't think
people
there's
are
a lot of
coming back.
people, so they don't know who N is. I mean,
But I mean, at the same time, the cards are badass. Zoroark,
They are
Reshiram,
pretty
the
badass.
Belly Bolt, the
I
Uh,
think
Washroll.
they're
the
okay.
Ends, Reshiram, and Zekrom, and the
I like them.
Lilies, Solgaleo, and Lunala. I was buying those cards
Lily,
for
yeah,
like
Lily.
$100. The rainbow was 60. Let's just say the rainbow was 60 for both the Lily and the N. And then the normal versions were like 100, $120. Then all of a sudden they skyrocket. Lowest listed is 350 and people are buying those.
I don't
350 raw.
Which means
much
there's
as
more
much as
money
the
to still
box
be
is.
made. They're
But
buying them, still
but
knowing
what's
there's money to
what's
be
the
made.
thought process? I mean, N is a very niche character in the Pokemon series. Lily, I would say at this point is niche, although she's very popular.
I don't
But
know, man.
what
I
was the
wouldn't
thought
say niche
process behind manipulating these cards up to $300? And now look at where we
All
are,
right.
where this set is about
How
to come
much?
because they're
in
doing it
Abyss
with everything else.
How
thousands.
much are old trainer cards that have been graded that are PSA 10s, like old, like from gym leaders and gym heroes?
They got to be popular
I don't
ones.
know.
It's got to be
But
N or Lily or
uh,
the ones we're
Probably less
seeing
than these
now.
new modern ones.
Yeah.
There are certain XY cards that are lower pop that sell for a lot more money, but because they were
I
very
get
hard
that.
to read.
Yeah.
But this is what it compares to. This compares to those cards. And how
I
many of
agree.
those are doing good if they're PSA 10 and they're popular?
Most of them.
This is people jumping in very early before this takes off in a few years, the same way that that did. There are people that know, all right, it is very cyclical. Down the road, people are not going to think about those cards from the 90s or the cards from the early 2000s. People are going to be like, you remember the cards from the 2010s or the 2020s? There are going to be
Yeah.
certain times that we get to in history where that's going to be the talk about it. That's going to be, the older sets. You get me?
I don't
And
want to get old, boys. I don't want to get old.
think of the artwork.
Too
Think of the
late.
artwork
Yeah.
on these cards right now. Can you tell me
I'm
there's
not
been
gray yet.
better artwork through better sets of Pokemon in the past? Or are we in the best artwork phase of this series, this whole IP right now with the SIRs and IRs that are coming out?
I don't think we can. Well,
I don't
I
know.
mean, relatively speaking, right now, I don't know. But regardless,
I
I
don't
don't
know how
think
to
it's just
describe.
because in the future there's going to be better art.
No, in the future there is, but I'm saying right now because also we got to think about that hype, right?
Oh
We
yeah.
Yeah,
know how other stuff's done. All right, crazy Charizard from way back in the day, first edition or Shadowless. You can buy a fucking house and look at it compared to a fucking SIR with a full scene with a bunch of different little fellas behind it. You get me? What
I
looks better?
would say Skyridge, Aquapolis. I like those better than the modern artwork. I like Delta Species better than the modern arts. The modern arts are beautiful, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's just those kinds of arts really vibe with me.
It's
I
But
don't
do
iconic.
those
want that,
are those partial art or is it like a full blown like
The
scene
half
like
art.
in
They're half arts.
so you get the difference. Those
Yeah,
still have
yeah,
words. They still
you're
have a text
absolutely
box
right.
or whatever.
And just because I like it doesn't mean everybody else is.
Yeah.
I don't speak for the market as a whole.
You could post up a fucking SIR card for something hot right now, and you don't really see the words and shit. Everything kind of like goes through it. You get me? You could post it up and from far away. It's just a little piece of art. It's a very pretty picture, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But with the other ones, oh, that's a trading card, huh? What's that say? Can't read it. Oh, okay, cool. It distracts from the art. It distracts from the beauty. It distracts from what it is, a presentation piece to your home.
I think you're hurting Shug's
But I
feelings.
do feel like that's a
This vintage
double-edged
talk.
sword because that shows that, how do I say it? It it gives you a false sense of reality when you're keeping a piece of cardboard and saying, "I'm keeping this because it's art," and 20 years from now, there's gonna be $1 million. You
Well,
know?
no, it's
Mhm.
not false because you do it with art from famous Picasso and shit, right? It's a piece of art. They buy it way down the right, way down the road. It's worth more. They sell it. It becomes a family heirloom. It becomes an asset. It becomes something you have to insure because it's worth so much.
You
It's
think
something that's been counterfeited. It's something that gets stolen. It's the same idea.
you think they're buying
There's
these?
one
Oh,
Picasso, or not. There's not a million of
yeah.
copies of
Well,
Picasso.
that's the
You
problem.
think they're
It's like
buying these
Van
old
Gogh.
Charizards for the art? The ugly Charizards for the art?
How will Van Gogh Pikachu hold 30 years from now when there's, oh, well, I guess
It won't be
15,000?
great.
I
Yeah.
don't
I
know.
think in 20, 30 years, it's like, remember what Pokenomics, Jake, you saw always like compare it to other collectible markets that have been around forever, like comic books. It's like
Yeah.
comic books when it got really popular and it was like more like of a fad or like trendy. Like people were like buying the new releases or issues that came out or the collector's edition that were supposed to be like more collector like items. But then
Mhm.
the market died and people are going back and now you have like issues Superman for like millions of dollars. So he like would break that down and compare it to that. So it's like short to long term, maybe, or like medium term, middle term. It might be to where these SARs are valued more than the old cards, but I think that demand for the older cards and the stuff that's like, the original might long term just outperform it
There's
eventually.
Yeah.
only going to be a few
I
iconic pieces
My
throughout
I could be
history.
wrong.
My problem is that modern cards right now, this very second, I feel like long term they're overpriced. If that makes sense.
For like what they're gonna be valued less long term.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
It's,
I think so.
I-
For a majority of them.
You're just going to have
it's
people
just,
that want them.
and of course now when it's popular and everybody wants to be a part of it is the worst time to be a part of it, essentially. It's just such a
It's hard to.
Unless it's
so
good, Pokemon
crappy.
goes on for 100 years, then maybe like like 50 years from now, like the midterm of its like life being over, then maybe 50 years these SARs are gonna be like crazy expensive cards, like
Yep.
tens of thousands of dollars. But towards the end of it, I could see it, when interest is lost. But
But then,
I don't
is it
know.
only a select few that are worth that much? Because they're
almost
It's always gonna be a
era defining
yeah.
cards over the years, like the
Yeah.
Charizard.
and that's what worries me because essentially that's when people are sophisticated or like interested in pop reports and rarity and all that stuff are gonna start
It's gonna matter
looking
then.
for those niche cards, and that's when you're gonna start seeing those slip through the cracks. In my opinion, not necessarily. It could be something else 30 years from now that beats pop reports.
But then again, we'll go back and pick up black and white cards because we like them from 20 years ago. So I mean, there's a chance, right?
Yeah.
Black
How
and white
many
20 years
future
ago.
generations
Or
will
you
do
know
this?
what? You get it. You know what I mean? How long ago was
But you say that because there's a black and
2005?
white set
Uh,
coming in,
No, I just threw it out there because I didn't want to go
But it,
full vintage like Watts
My
or
bad,
yeah.
my
yeah.
bad.
all the way back, but like
But
we
it
Yeah,
just
like
still
10, 12 years ago.
appreciate picking up old cards like that, like just little niche cards that don't really matter
wait.
to anybody else.
Especially right now, and they're way cheaper than
Yeah,
the modern cards coming out.
Yeah.
there's a
And what
chance.
about this? Every kid that was born with Scarlet and Violet as their era, that's their first era. They know that
That's my
Pokemon's been a thing,
kids.
but that's their
Yeah,
first era. That's their video game. That's what they start collecting.
I've
That's
got
what made them love Pokemon.
one Sword and Shield, one
Leave them
Scarlet
in
and
the
Violet.
hobby. Have it continue. You're telling me that Scarlet and Violet to them won't be the same as Base is to us when we lived through it? I know we want
Yeah,
vintage, right?
I think the
But
majority
this
of them
is
will.
going to be their vintage when they get old. When they get older, they're still going to call vintage vintage, but
Yeah,
this is going to be to them, bro, this is when I was 5 years old. This is vintage now that I'm
our
in my
vintage will
30s and
be
40s.
50s comics book to
Well,
us. 50s comic
well,
books.
you know why? Uh, the first half of Scarlet and Violet was readily available for anyone who wanted it, and the first half was very successful. The artwork was super nice. I think that was definitely one of the best first halves that
Yeah,
Pokemon has had in a while that I can think of.
I think most of
Um,
us recognized that. It was just we were so used to what it had been before. Like, well, let's base
Yeah, I
it.
agree
We'll
with
wait on
Bays.
something better.
and
I agree with
Boom
what you say.
is gonna drive people away, but I think that initial first half of the era was enough to get the people who started with Scarlet and Violet into it. Once all this stuff dies down, maybe we'll see them again. They'll be a little bit older and might be
Yeah,
a little different.
Yeah,
Might be an
I think
interesting
the majority of them
choice.
will that may happen. Yeah, but I also think too there's like a part, maybe it's a personality type, or but I think there's a part of collecting, like the psychological part of having an exclusive item, and it's the Umbreon VMAX or whatever. It's not going to be an exclusive item. There'll be a lot of demand for it, but it's whatever the pop will be by then, 20,000, 25,000, and people will be like, okay, this is cool and I like it. It's nostalgic to me, but there'll just be people that have to have the best or have to have something like rare, and it's just that pool of people that wants that, maybe that 0.5% of people coming into the hobby every year are going to go look back for things that are like, okay, what can I get that nobody else can get because I have more money. So I think both, you'll see both. If Pokemon does well, everything's gonna probably
I
go
think
up. um but if there's always, I just think it's less risk with the older stuff.
it's probably fair to say it's gonna be
um,
the exact same as now, right? We're gonna have people that want,
I think vintage is
yeah, I
underrated.
guess,
yeah,
yeah.
like It's just gonna be in the future the same, but
Y-
different.
Yeah, I think vintage is so undervalued right now. It's possible that it's never
But
gonna be that.
there's that whole
that
other aspect of our vintage, but vintage is gonna be right now to them. I
Yeah,
don't know. That
it'll
is
get
that's a whole
newer and
nother
newer. The
yeah,
vintage will grow as it
more levels.
Yeah, because think about it. What is classic music to you, or what is classic rock? What year would you define it as? Because I've asked that to a bunch of different people, and depending on their age,
over here.
it changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
What's classic rock?
What is
Bob
uh,
Seger
uh say
talking hair
70s,
bands.
80s,
That's what
70s?
I usually
Rolling
think. I'm
Stones.
thinking,
Thinking
60s
about
to 70s is what I
Yeah.
usually think, but I've been
70s
told
to
otherwise.
70s to 80s.
thinking about War Pigs, Black Sabbath.
Classic rock.
So I love that song.
You know,
Ozzy
our
Osbourne.
music is the oldies now, or something like that.
Yep.
Throwbacks. Yeah.
Yeah,
Throw it,
they
Yeah.
refer to it like that sometimes.
Like we had 80s
Yeah, so
parties. There's gonna be 2000s
Yeah.
parties now.
There already is
there
2000s
Yeah.
already
parties.
is. Yeah,
God,
so that's why I was saying time is subjective. We call vintage Watsy era, right? But over time, this will be a vintage era
hmm
to a different breed of collector. We
Yeah.
won't be the ones considering this vintage or not at that point. It'll be past our time. You get me? Right now, it's our time. Right now, we're the ones most vocal. We're the ones here in it. We're the ones doing a freaking podcast on a Saturday/Sunday.
I'll still be
You
here
get
at
me?
80, yelling at the YouTubes, the
Yeah.
youngins
But
Hmm.
like,
with my Venomos. You don't know nothing
as
about
the
this.
population grows too, right? Because I know Shug, you said, oh well, if there's like 20,000 of those Umbreons, it won't matter as much because it's not as rare. Because there is people that chase that rarity, that exclusivity, right?
Because
It
But
won't
Shug
matter
is
to some
like
people. It'll
I
matter
am.
to some people,
Yeah.
but there will be a small percentage of those people that it won't matter. They'll be like,
yeah,
oh, this is anybody can
Yeah.
get this.
yeah. But what I'm saying is, no matter how big of a population we think right now there is for a certain card, if it is one of the current hype/chase cards, as the world population increases, as more people get into the hobby, because I don't see collectors dropping off and then just not collecting anything. Sometimes we see collectors bounce around, but they might come back. You get me? But we're
Yeah.
talking about overall collectors in general. There's more people. There's more people that are probably going to collect. So you could theorize that the whole population of collectors is just going to increase. I feel that that will always be sustainable enough to go after those high populations and maintain those prices, because I think right now there's not enough to go around. Because
Unless
don't
something
you think?
drastic happens to where demand is,
Yeah,
like
but like
something
right
happens to
now,
Pokemon and it's not popular anymore.
how
You
many
know what
people want to
never
buy
happened?
all the PSA 10s for a certain card because they want to control that? We got to think about that.
Well,
Even if there's more and more, okay, there's gonna be someone who's like, I just got to buy more of them out.
I think what's so appealing about that Charizard is like there's not that many that are graded in that condition, right? So there's
Hmm.
so many
100.
Moonbryons that I don't know. I guess you're right. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it depends on who's here, how many want
Yeah.
it, how many. Yeah, there's so many
Yeah.
Yeah,
factors.
Demand can
Thing,
outweigh supply. Yeah.
one thing I noticed throughout this entire time that I've been in this hobby is that the Moonbreon never, ever dipped in any weird way through the market correction. It was just very normal. It lost like what 20%, and then it just stayed flat, and then it went back up again. It looked like a little blimp in the radar on the graph.
Yeah.
So that means that for the last like 4 or 5 years that I've been in the hobby, people have just been consistent as hell,
more and
paying
more
Patreon
Yeah.
prices
and
and
more.
options over and over and over and over again, up
And
until
population
right now.
bigger. Population has not dwindled; it's gotten bigger.
What happens in uh, time where all of a sudden something happens, the market reacts, they snap, and that card drops a thousand
Well,
bucks.
think about this:
Like a
population
reprint,
has grown,
Evo
I don't
price.
Skies
know.
reprint.
I know, no, but
I
I'm
don't
getting
think
to
it's
it.
gonna drop
Population
$1,000
has grown, the
till
price has
maybe.
grown, the hype has grown. You're telling me that as time progresses more and it's even harder to get those packs, we're going to see as high of a growth for the population of the card, because I think we've hit a point where the growth of the population of the card may have slowed down to where it's already hit its peak. It might have hit its peak population growth pattern, and now we might still get a few added to the population, but chances are it's going to be way less often. And you just said, what if it's reprinted? That one is hella out of tournament, right? That tournament letter for Evo Skies, I would be freaking shocked to see that reprinted. That's why I was upset that Pokemon Center
That would be
released
wild.
Evo Skies packs that they've just been sitting on, that they never sent through their distribution, because we know it's not currently in print, which means they had it somewhere and they've already seen it hit $30 on the market for the secondary market. They could have helped ease that pain from people, released what they still had because they're sitting on a supply. We never needed a reprint. We needed Pokemon to release all the shit they fucking printed.
I think they
And
sold.
they decided, I'm going to hold on to this for a few years. You get me?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Whatever
that
they
Umbreon
had.
it is an outlier too. Like it could never go down or that could always go up, but I don't think that applies to all there. That card's like super popular compared to everything else. So maybe that card is fine the rest of the time, but everything else I think might be,
what
you
about
know,
the
a little different.
lovebirds, the Latios Latias, Sun and Moon?
Bro, demand is there until it's not. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't trust it at that many. And I feel like something could happen. Nothing, Pokemon has their stuff pretty well figured out. It would have to be something pretty crazy for stuff to drop, like something worldly,
Yeah.
let's put it that way, for something like that
Yeah.
to go out of its natural order because demand for it is just completely fulfilled for now. That's the only thing I'll say about that for now.
It's gonna take
I don't know.
everybody putting it out at once to have anything major,
Or it could be another card.
if not
It
worldly.
could essentially be another card that dethrones Moonbreon,
That's what we
and then
speculated about this one.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, there was people actually. I had the two new Sumbreons. There was people that were messaging me on Facebook trying to trade. It was a Korean version of a Moonbreon.
Those are
Those cards in
expensive as shit
Korean
now too.
they go for like 800 to 1,000, I think. And he wanted to trade me for the Sumbreon. He's like, "Hey, I'll trade you the Moonbreon for it." I said no because I don't want a Korean card, um, but yeah, like so people are there is like for that guy, like he wanted the Umbreon more than he wanted the Moonbreon. So that demand for that card, is -1 because of that.
The Korean
Yep.
So
Umbreon
there's
is pricey.
instances where people, like you said, a new card could come out and people don't have like infinite money. So they're like, well, I could get this new card if I trade this Umbreon or sell it, whatever. Um, I guess somebody has to buy it
Chonkachu
for
is
the
an
demand, but
example.
what?
Yeah, the Chonkachu is an example.
Oh yeah, that
That
was
card was so expensive. Even Lugia was very expensive at one point. I think it started at $400. Just just crashed. You just see that thing go down and down and down. I think I saw it go down to $100 from 400 to $100 in a span of like half a year,
You
up
know why?
until
All that
finally
Lost
starting
Origin and
to.
Silver Tempest.
It crashed because of the god packs for Silver Tempest that were coming out of those tins. Everybody was getting like alt arts like crazy. They
Yeah.
had broken pull rates. It was through one distributor. They found out there was all this shit on Pokemon like news about it.
Lunch
That's what
boxes.
broke Silver Tempest.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
That's
That
why.
ruined my Lugia.
Yeah. If it
Yeah.
wasn't for that, it would have trekked up and up. Everybody said, "Oh, bro, you can just get this wherever." Like everybody in the case finds one
I
or
think it
two.
was
It
above
was
the
bullshit,
Gengar.
but they said it.
I think it was
Lugia is
worth
better
more
than
than the.
Giratina. Next topic.
Ha.
Not the Crown Zenith Giratina.
Um,
My opinion.
no, those gold cards are super nice.
Shugg doesn't
Like,
I'm
think
not a
so.
they're
fan.
Yeah.
good.
I don't like the gold cards.
Shame.
Nah.
Hey,
I don't like
do
them
like
as
the
much as
Arceus.
people like them.
You could just, you can
They're
point
cool
them out
cards,
from
but I
all the
don't
way
value
across
them
the
the
room.
same.
I don't
I
know.
do like the Dialga and Palkia because their colors are very kind of weird next to
Yeah.
gold. So I like that you have like a very weird color next to this very fancy looking gold card.
Yeah.
I think the full art trainer versus the gold version of the full art trainer versus the rainbow version of the full art trainer should have three different artworks, not the same for all three. I don't like when they have like a gold card and the rainbow card of the same card that was a full art card. You get me?
Yeah.
Have they
We're not
done that?
getting rainbows anymore.
Yeah.
In Sword and Shield, they had
Yeah.
golds and rainbows, right? And it was like the same picture as the actual card.
I don't think it.
It was
Oh,
the
I don't think golds.
E-stars.
I think it was
So
just
Oh
the-
yeah.
the full arts and the
Okay. Yeah.
rainbows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta get going here pretty soon,
Yeah.
but you guys are welcome to
Yeah, same.
continue.
Well, I'm
Do you
gonna
guys
call
have
it too.
collection pieces or?
Oh,
Oh,
we
yeah.
haven't shown it.
Hang on, I'll grab mine.
I got a couple things. I got a AI grading slab. It's my first AI grading slab. It's not tag.
Oh, nice.
It's a combi. Yeah.
All right.
But that was actually from what's his name? Oh damn, I feel bad because
Mine?
I can't remember his name. Hive Mind, yeah.
No kidding.
Batman.
He
Batman.
likes Combi.
Here's mine.
Yeah. Nice.
Batman.
Dude, that looks good on you. You should wear that every podcast.
It's full cow.
Then
That
You
should
guys
be
saw this?
on the profile, on the thumbnail. And
Yeah,
everything.
that definitely needs to be.
With a Majin Buu sign on it.
Right there.
I mean,
Hell
a
yeah.
Majin sign.
Next thumbnail.
Check
And then
it
this
out.
was the other. There's a starter deck kit.
Oh,
There's two
cool.
starter decks. I think it's from 2002. One
That's
Piece
cool.
card
Old
game.
school Luffy.
Yeah. It's all sealed up. Like the
Sorry.
box is open, but you can just. This is the decks in here sealed up. I kind of want to
Hey.
open them.
Is
that's
that
cool.
the Cardos TCG?
Punisher.
Yeah, this is the Cardass.
Nice.
Yeah,
These are metal.
Bandai Cardass.
Very nice.
A metal.
Yeah, he's got. Show him the
One-
whole case.
All right.
How
So
they're
there's
sorted
from
in
the
there.
Spider-Man
cards in
one?
here. It is the Spider-Man one. It came in
Okay.
a metal tin. All the cards are metal. There was only 1,200 sets made in 1996. This is the.
Oh, I
complete
heard you
set,
talking
and
about
it's
this
sealed.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so you want
that's
to see
cool.
the Carnage and Venom?
Yeah. That's cool. I heard you talking about this in a live stream you're doing like last week, I think, or earlier
Yep.
this week.
Yeah, I did stream it.
I never heard about that. Yeah.
I was super surprised when I came across them. This is Venom.
Oh, that's
I think
dope.
graded worldwide.
grade
there's
these?
Less than 70 copies have been graded worldwide. I'm gonna get a sequential grade for all 20.
You can grade these? They're not too
Yeah.
thick or anything?
Yeah, no,
PSA grades them?
They're graded through PSA.
That's cool.
I saw that
Awesome.
9s and 10s of certain cards sell for like $500, dude. They're crazy.
What the hell is that?
It's from 2001. I got it thrown at a.
Beanie Babies were that big?
I don't know.
Carnage?
I got it at a Mardi Gras parade,
Oh, that's cool, Carnage.
Yeah.
but I didn't know
This is the
TY made anything that big.
Yeah, I didn't know TY did anything that big either.
Those are sick base.
Yeah, those
I'm
are cool.
super happy you got them.
1,200 only ever made?
I actually watched.
1,200 made worldwide. It comes
See,
with
I
a
like
certificate.
knowing that.
That's cool.
Here.
Yeah, it's got
Or-
that's
Oh, it tells you what number you got.
You gotta frame
12,000,
that.
not 1,200, 12,000. I fucked up and
Still,
said
I
100,
still
right?
like knowing that there's
Yeah.
like a finite amount. I mean, there's obviously a finite amount with every,
Yeah.
but I like knowing the population.
okay. Let's
Mine
guess.
is number 3825.
How parabolic do we think that 151 promo is going to be once it's all the waves are sent out? That's going to be
The
like
Mew?
the Chinese one. Yeah, the Mew.
The Mew. Yeah.
Oh, it's like 150 cards. You said
100
100 copies.
51
1,050.
1051
51?
500.
Yeah.
1051
Okay.
sent out in
That's true.
waves, so it's going to be stable for a little while because everybody knows more's coming, and then once it's gone, it's going to fucking like. Are we
Well-
going past ponchos? Or we?
Almost done.
What are we gonna do?
5 minutes.
How is it going to be stable? Like,
Yeah.
what do you define as stable for
Well-
a card that is numbered?
It's going to be they're only releasing 151 10 times, right? So
Mm-hmm.
people know that there's so many waves left, so it's gonna keep a ceiling on it because there's gonna be more released and released and released. So
But what's the first ceiling? So,
Right,
like,
that's
what
what- I don't-
sets the ceiling on that?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
What can we compare it to? Like, you just brought up the ponchos, right? But the ponchos at first were not the ponchos now, right?
Right.
No.
So on release,
But
we got to
people could
think
probably
about it like
see what it is, though. Cosplay Pikachu with a Mario collab. Or, no, never mind. Wrong one.
I have a Poncho Pika.
I have one
I'm
Poncho
thinking Mario
Pika.
Luigi.
I have the Mecha Tokyo one, the baby Charizard one.
Thanks.
There you go.
A playing card. King Pikachu.
That's awesome.
There we go.
All right.
Yeah,
I gotta go.
All right, sir. We'll call it, guys. We'll talk
Yeah,
about
man.
151
cool.
next time.
Yeah, for sure.
Did-
Because that
did
is
FOMO show
that is
his
a whole
thing?
conversation. Honestly, real quick before we leave, that 151 thing, think of that's gonna drive up the hype more of what we were just talking about. Before the market dies off, there's a fucking card coming out that's like limited to 1,051 copies worldwide, and it's only released in China, and we don't know what it's gonna be worth.
It's gonna be wild.
It's going to be worth 1,500.
Somebody will black label
$51.
it. I'll see it on ZNG Emporium, or it's a fine
Yeah.
card, Instagram.
I literally think that card will only sell at an auction. I
imagine
don't
first to
think there's going to
market.
be someone that sets a price and sets a floor for it. I think it's going to be an auction piece. The auction will determine what it's worth,
Yeah.
and every auction after that will try to beat its expectations. I'm afraid of that card.
It's going to be pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But, all right, guys.
Did Shomo show his thing or no?
Oh, yeah.
You
Go
have
ahead.
something, FOMO, or?
I don't actually. I ran out of
All right.
stuff and sold everything. So
Yeah,
I
you
got
sold all your stuff.
I got
No
nothing.
worries.
I got nothing.
That's fine.
Well,
All right, guys.
yeah. If you're here later,
It was
now,
a good one today.
I appreciate you guys.
Yeah,
Leave some
appreciate you.
comments. Leave some topics you want us to talk about or anything like that. It's appreciated.
Until the next
Peace.
one, everybody.
Later, guys.
Peace.